Hi, Vod.
Hi, Vod. Hi, book club.
I should.
Hi, Vod.
I keep forgetting
Hi, Vod.
to specify
What?
that it's just the chat that I. But no, this is great. This is perfect. It's a tea party, y'all. We're having tea. This is tea. We're drinking tea, and it's alcoholic tea. But whatever. Who cares? Hi, everybody. It's book club number 2 for Umineko. We're doing it. We're doing it. It's happening. Oh, I got hit with a hydrate immediately. Immediately. Okay. And y'all, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Umineko's good. A controversial opinion, I know, but Umineko so far. For people who are joining, we are doing Umineko. We're finishing up episode 1. So we stopped the first book club and we have played all the way through episode 1, and shit has gone down and gone up and then come back down. And it's going to be, I'm so excited to dive into it. We are starting basically halfway through episode 1, and we're going to cover the rest of the episode. Full Umineko spoilers for episode 1 up until the end of episode 1 happening right now. If you don't want spoilers, please take your tea, get up, and play the rest of the game. Umineko's good. Spoilers, Umineko good. So let's go ahead and let's just dive right into it. Oh, and before I get started, Higurashi spoilers. So we have a new rule in general. What we're doing is we're not going to talk. It is a blanket, no Umineko's, no Higurashi spoilers until the end of an episode. We want people to engage with Umineko and have a good time without worrying about being spoiled on Higurashi. But it's kind of impossible to not talk about some aspects of Higurashi in the context of especially what we just saw with Umineko. So, but we're going to do that at the end of the podcast if it's relevant. And I think it's relevant for this episode, so just FYI. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and say hi to our crew. We've got a Draconic Wolf, a new Umineko reader.
Hello, thank you for the fabulous entrance.
Oh, thank you for the fabulous voice. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
How's your tea?
I'm actually having wine this time.
Oh, well, there you go. Just like a certain other person, but we won't talk about that. I love bobvids.
Yay!
The
O is silent.
All right, that's a server ban. Jules!
Hi.
Hi! How you doing this wonderful night?
Good. I wasn't here for the first book club because I wasn't caught up. But then I played the whole episode in like 2 days, and now I'm caught up.
2 days?
Yeah.
Wow. You sound like me playing Higurashi. And
yeah, well, I've been like on the edge of my seat. Like, I want to do the book club because I need to get to episode 2 now. I didn't want to spoil myself in episode 2 because I worried it would affect how I talked about episode 1. So.
Gotcha. All right. Excited to get to it. Kratom, how you doing?
Hello, party people. I'm excited for this discussion about happy slice of life events and curry making contests. This is a very happy chapter.
A happy chappy. Next person, Olo.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm on my phone, so if I sound funny, that's why.
It's all good. All right, next person, P. It's a very fancy P, though. That font is wonderful.
It is the fanciest P. I am Pick, and I'm excited to talk about whatever this story is. Yeah.
Excited to get to it. Purpley. You excited to get to it, Purpley? You excited to finish episode 2?
Oh, I mean, I finished the whole game, and it's my favorite VN. So I'm excited for you. Absolutely.
For a second, I thought everybody in here was new because we have so many new people now.
Uh-huh.
So, Spider-Man, speaking of new people.
Hi, I'm Spider-Man. I read the first 4 episodes 15 years ago, and now I'm back to finish the job after redoing the job I already did 15 years ago. Because I
Kojima
forget
finished
most
the
of
fight. Also, Spider-Man, I just saw that you posted in the Discord chat to say hi to the VOD instead of on Twitch. And that makes
Yes,
me
I
laugh.
do.
Tao's real.
Hello. Just like Spider-Man, I read Umineko up to through the question arcs, and now I'm catching back up on the question arcs, and will be completely new when we get to the answer arcs.
Nice. UT.
Hi, I'm excited to talk about murders.
Heartwheel. And as always, the fabulous, the hostess with the mostess. The hostess with the murder-s? I don't know. Jan and Gail, how y'all doing?
Well, Gail's not home yet, but they're getting some pizza. I am here. I've been thinking about murder for a while now. Also, Umineko, hello.
Hello. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Jan, did you have a series of chapter summaries?
I do. I've been trying to make sure to limit each of them to just one sentence each, because there's always going to be a number of things to cover. So just kind of doing a broad overview, we start with the
Did you say overview?
Well, there's a number of mothers. Overview.
Go for it.
Great.
And now you got the giggles.
Okay. Yeah. Bunch of moms died. Some other ones that didn't die also. But not in the first Twilight entirely. First we started with 6 found. Then they have some arguments. Natsu's got a gun. Can't find Kinzo. Something about a receipt. Hideyoshi and Eva, they go fuck and then they die.
Also, the way you just said Natsuhi's got a gun. Natsuhi's got a gun.
Yep.
Perfect.
We find Grandpa's body.
Grandpa, no!
Cannon gets got.
Cannon.
So they all go up to the study. They kind of hole up until Letter pops up. Makes Natsuhi go berserk style and kick all the servants out and the child. We find the child. Bunch of dead bodies. She's singing in the corner. Natsuhi dies. The servants, they're dead. Clock strikes midnight. See everybody's fate in the credits. And then a normal all-cast review where they just kind of have a fun time talking about all of their roles. Hey, we had a good time. How did this happen? How'd that happen? And that's all that happened.
That's all that happened. Nothing else.
That's all that happened. No new people showed up. We don't need to worry about that.
No. Yeah, it was, I was expecting more when we finished it, you know? It was kind of like, I don't know, it's a little underwhelming.
We were really hoping he'd step up his game this time.
Yeah. I like Umineko, but it's no Higurashi.
I mean,
you know the wild
got the
thing
lady in the portrait this whole time, and where is she?
Yeah, where'd she go? I have no idea. But you know,
that was a brief. What was it? Memory view? You said.
Oh, there's a lot of moms.
We're not. No. No spoilers.
Mama review. Anyways.
Mom tier list.
I mean, Natsuhi.
All of them S except for one.
Rose garbage tier. Fiery garbage tier, as Gail would be fond of me pointing out. All right, so I guess I could start us off with, wow, dude. Like, I don't want to compare it to other, like, chapters, but or other works. Wink. But like, wow, this really. Once 6 people got, I don't know, in my head, I don't know about any of the other new people, but in my head, I just had such an idea of like what this would be and how slow of a burn it is. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of slow at the beginning, or it's I wouldn't even say slow. It takes its time a little bit, but when shit gets going, holy shit. Like fucking I think I said it on the stream, like everybody's dead. Like everybody died. Like it's like what the fuck? And then at a certain point I started to clock like, okay. I think I know. I think I get an idea for how this is going to go, where it's like episodes and then maybe, I don't know, we have yet to get to episode 2, but it sounds like, and if I were a betting man, I would put money on us potentially traveling back in time with some new characters in tow and maybe examining things. I really like the framing device of this is like sort of Beatrice's game. Like, this is not our game. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong fucking one. Thank you. Beatrice! So, that's me reacting to Beatrice being in the fucking tea party. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, that was fun on the VOD. It's just like losing my mind. Why did the music stop? It was very dramatic. So yeah, basically, like, we can talk about that stuff later. The tea party. It's hard not to even examine it right now. But like, oh man, because we got the tea party and then we got the other thing that happened after, and just wow. But yeah, in terms of like, I am. But like I said it on Blue Sky, I am invested. Like, holy shit, like. All of these characters are so interesting. Well, with the exception of Furniture Boy.
I kid. Shush.
I kid. But yeah, like also Battler's so endearing. He's just a goofball. And Maria, I mean, so also yes, I did update my soundboard. I love ominous. I called this one Uminous. And then, you want to hear Ungry? She's so Ungry.
Maria, what do you think about this chapter, Maria?
Oh, I love her. She is awesome. You ever want to have a child? Anyway. I want to adopt her because Rose can get thrown into a fucking garbage can. Anyways, but yeah, that's enough from me, I think. Let's go ahead and pick someone random. Jules. Hi. What did you think of this series of chapters?
So I mean, I really liked it. Like, the day that I finished it, I also watched the entire first season of the live action One Piece. And at the end of the day, I was just like, I love stories and storytelling so goddamn much. I love, like, when people write stories and they're good. I just
agree.
I traditionally really love stories about, like, generational trauma.
That seems to be where we're going with this one.
There's a whole lot of that in this family. I thought, I was like, this is like Succession, but if Logan Roy was into black magic and they were on an island. Yeah, I mean, this is very much my kind of thing.
And there was a witch with a toe fetish, but I digress.
Yeah. Why do people not like canon? I like canon.
Yeah, to be clear, I'm just kidding around. He is a little his shtick is wearing thin, but I think that he has a lot of potential. And that's the cool thing about all of the characters in Umineko right now. It's like, even if I hate them, even if they suck, Rose, you suck. But like, I feel like Ryukishi's going to do something with that. I think that's like, not that it's like, you know, what Rose did is going to be like hand waved or anything. I think Ryukishi is really going to examine it, but right now it's like everybody. I'm really interested in just knowing everybody and learning about everybody. So, but yeah, Rosa. Do I keep saying Rose?
Yeah.
Ah, it's because of the rose
Also-
emoji. I'm fucked up.
For some reason, I thought you were giving her a nickname. Yeah, good old Rose.
I mean,
I don't think she's good old Rose based on how Bob feels about her.
Bad Rose. Rosa.
I mean, yeah, we're definitely seeing a cycle of abuse thing because they've said a bunch of times that Kinzo was quite physically abusive towards his kids.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about, like, I'm very curious about how the parents treat each of the cousins kind of on a day-to-day basis. Like, because I feel like, obviously, I imagine Rosa and Maria, like, living together, like, all the time. That's, like, a tension-filled household. Like, I don't know. I find all these family dynamics. I want to know more about Battler's grandparents that he's been living with. I want to...
Yeah.
I feel like there's
What
gotta be
happened to
something...
them?
Well, they're at home.
Well, I thought they were killed.
No, he was living with his grandparents because his mom was dead.
Right.
And so I assume they're his mom's parents.
Yeah. His mom died, guys. His mom died.
Do you not believe that? Because I don't necessarily know.
I think something happened to her.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like someone killed her, but I think she's dead.
Yeah. Well, she died, but like, Battler's mom didn't die. She was murdered.
That's still dying.
I'm just copying a YouTube thing. Anyway.
Oh.
Did you have anything else to add, or?
Not really. Not right now. I mean, when people talk about certain parts of the story, I definitely have like theories and stuff I want to chime in about. But overall,
I feel like we should do a theory chat. Like we should definitely, because I feel like a lot of the seagull heads, a lot of the sea cats, the aged, the wizened sea cats would enjoy us like going insane with theories.
I think that would be funny. I was watching the VOD of you playing the chapter where all the 6 people get murdered after I had finished the episode. And early in the VOD you said something like, what if they kill like half the cast all at once? And I knew in the chat that people must have been screaming internally when you said that. It was more like a third, but still.
Yeah. I finally have context for why people clipped that one thing I said with the tea party, where but in Higurashi I made it was like really early on in the book clubs, and I would not have remembered it unless someone had like clipped it. But yeah, I talked about the sort of like after party thing that happens in Higurashi, and how like it would be neat if that was actually integrated into the story, like, and how if like things happening in that like sort of context would like recontextualize the main story, and like y'all apparently I'm prophetic.
I love when people's like work is in conversation with their previous work and like kind of playing off expectations that have been established from their work and the new stuff they're doing. Like that's very cool.
Like no spoilers for Higurashi, but yeah like I'm getting that 1000%. But yeah. All right. Oh, so yeah, let's clock doing a theory chat once we get done with this segment. But yeah, okay. Draconic Wolf, what did you think of these chapters?
Intense, suspenseful, and jaw-dropping, because most of that was I was assuming where it was going, but then it was like,
everyone's faces got smashed. Like what?
Yeah, that, and everyone losing their marbles in the manor, and and one person having a particular gun.
Mm-hmm. Natsuhi with the gun, classic. Like, oh my god, Queen. Like, holy shit.
it was a good moment for her, I will say, because she's kind of like, protecting everyone, and they're not sure what's going on. You got two different things happening: people getting murdered, someone saying, "Oh, there's a witch that is claiming everyone."
Yeah. Thank you so much to Clovermove for the Prime sub. Thank you. But yeah, Draconic Wolf, I had a question for you.
Shoot.
Favorite character so far?
With me not being biased?
You can be biased.
Natsuhi. I've loved her from the beginning, honestly.
Very, very valid as fuck, I will say.
That's actually the correct response. There is a singular correct response, and you got it.
It's wild.
I mean,
like,
I honestly feel like I can relate to her a bit. Like, there's aspects of her that I can sympathize with a lot. Because I know she comes off as harsh in some scenes, particularly with Shannon. But, I mean, I can kind of also understand the stresses of what she's going through.
Wait, we've got a caller here to talk about that. Yes, you're on the air. No. I think did you have anything? Okay, I'm not sure what that. Did you want to? Okay, all right. We're gonna hang up on her.
I think your Pokemon is.
Sorry, can I say mine? My favorite character so far.
Please.
This might be Jessica. I really like Jessica.
Really?
To learn more about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
I don't know. She just seems like a very she feels very grounded in a way I find interesting. And first of all, her voice actress just went so hard in the scene where they found the 6 bodies. That was crazy. The scenes of her, I think part of it is because of the voice acting. She's just incredible. And
she's
also,
really going. Yeah, I agree with that.
I just find her to be a very realistic teenage girl, and I like her a lot. And I'm curious. I want to learn more about her. I like the idea that she had a crush on Cannon and didn't even really realize until he was gone. That made me want to cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jessica is my favorite so far.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely valid. I sometimes I don't. It's not like. I will say the voice actress. Oh man, the voice actors for this entire game, just just so good across the board. Holy shit, everyone's really doing a good job. I mean, how can you and of course. Okay, shut up. No, please stop. Okay. We have to let him finish. I thought I set it to toggle, but I set it to a one shot, so you have to let it ride. But yeah, I'm curious, does anyone have is Cannon anyone's favorite character right now? That's the correct response. I'm such an asshole. But okay.
What's wrong? You can't have a little emo boy get quirked up?
No, you can't. I will say, him getting got was it honestly endeared him to me. It was the fact that no one rushed down to the basement and he was immediately I got this, and he rushes down there. No one else did that. And that was entirely because Cannon clocked that if someone's down there, there's only one place that they could go. And so he could trap them. And so he rushed down there to trap them and got annihilated.
Did you really just say, you know what endeared me to him? His death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it when people die.
I heard that people die when they're killed. So I don't know. We have to research that a little bit. Olo.
Hi. Yes.
Hi. Nope. Thoughts on the chapters that we covered so far? Any favorite moments?
Oh God. Let's see. The Okay, no, that was before. It's not like a favorite moment, but I'm always thinking about the Rose Garden scene with Rosa and Maria. But as far as like this batch, the I guess just the initial reveal of the 6 bodies is it's like electric. It's crazy. They just dropped this insane track after like all this classical music for so long.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The music goes hard. It's so good.
Yes.
There were like 2 or 3 tracks where I was just like, I kind of wanted to just hang around and listen to the music for a little bit, just because it was so good. Oh man, but yeah, no, you're right. Like, what do you think about? Are you a new reader?
I have read up to like part of Arc 2, but then I stopped because I was trying to be on pace with book club.
Oh yeah, okay. Do you have any thoughts on the sigil that was put on the door to the shed, or the shed, like sort of like it was like a sliding, like sort of like like a garage door almost, but that giant like fuck off sigil, like
the circle of the sun.
Yeah, halo of the sun.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, I know they went over what it like meant per se, but like I'm in a weird spot because I know that we as battler / the reader are supposed to question magic and like all the witch shit that's going on, and like that is a good impulse, and I do try to like stick to that. But the way I read is I tend to just take everything more or less at face value, or just like allow it to wash over me. So I'm at a point where it's like it is a good impulse for Battler and for the story for him to be like, no, magic isn't real, witches aren't real, fuck all this fuck all this bullshit. But at the same time I'm like, I don't know, man. A lot of weird shit is happening. This could be magic. I don't know the rules of this place. Magic's in a weird spot where it's like it exists until they definitively prove it doesn't, but that's also like you can't exactly prove that.
Dohiwaro makes a great point, which has never hurt anybody. If you think about
and magic's cool.
Magic is cool. I love a good magic. Sorry, one sec. Okay. And we're back. All right. So, oh, wait. What is purpley orange? Can you give us your perspective from the viewpoint of a witch?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I feel like these chapters are where it really fucking gets into high gear, right? Like this is just like, oh shit, right now we're just going for it. Like it's the place you started with, like the murders happening, or like, you know, the aftermath of the murders, I guess, rather, because we don't see that, which is part of the mystery, obviously. But like just. And then the ending of these, I don't know how much we want to say about that until we get there, but like the ending of what we're going to talk about today is like, oh, okay, so this is the structure for going forward, right? All right. Like I think that is the shit that, like, I was already invested in reading this when I started reading this. But like this is the part that really truly hooked me. So yeah, I really love these chapters.
Yeah, like I cannot stress enough how the murders, like of all of those people, and their you're not a new reader, right?
No. I've read the whole thing, and I'm on my second read through. So
I'll hold off on asking questions because I want to theorize with folks. But yeah, I favorite character right now?
Well, I mean, honestly, Battler and Beatrice, both of those same tied for me favorite.
What do you like about Battler?
I think Battler's a really interesting character because he is like, I think he's a character that's full of like clear and obvious contradictions that he seems to be aware of. Like, he is, so clearly, like, at odds with his family, and he realizes, like, the sort of, like, to a certain extent, obviously not like, say, perhaps an outsider would, but, like, to a certain extent realizes the corrupting influence of all the wealth and power that they hold, but still is like, but I love these people, they're my family. I think that's interesting and, like, a fun contradiction, and especially, like, as we see at the beginning of this section that you've read, where, so far he's held this distance between him and his father, and, like, that sort of just falls away the moment he sees what's happened to Rudolph and Kyrie. Like, that just immediately goes away. I also just really like that he's a crybaby, because so am I. So...
Yeah, no, I totally get that. He definitely, I think I said it before on a stream. Like, if I were anyone in this story, it would probably be Battler, purely because of just like I already talked about it, but like the extended family, like kind of not really being a part of them, and then just like coming into it and just like, yeah, and yeah, of everybody. Like, yeah, his perspective is really interesting. Also from the aspect of him just staunchly, like you mentioned, like rejecting, but also being aware that like something weird is happening here. But being just, I like, especially in anime, I like strong-headed characters who are just like, they've got a lot of like, the thing that I like about Battler is that he's strong-headed, but at the same time, he's like, he's not an asshole about it. Like, he has his ideas of what's happening. He doesn't exactly know, but he like how things connect, but he's like, no, like, you guys are being weird. Like, this is weird, right? And everybody's just like, no, it's fine. No, just accept it. And it's like, what? Anyway.
Yeah, that bit's so good.
Yeah, I'm fully anticipating like things being examined in from his perspective in multiple ways, multiple avenues, not just in terms of like how he's, I'm really interested in why he is the way that he is, if that makes any sense. His upbringing, what was his mom like? What was his mom's relationship to his dad? Like, was it a happy marriage? Like, I threw out, we'll save it for theories later. Anyway, okay, moving on. You know what? Maybe we should just unmute and we can all just talk. Maybe have more of a free-flowing conversation, because this is taking a little while.
Yeah. If I may.
Sure.
I did section it off so that the new reader topics that they want to discuss, that those get priority. So I've written those down, and you guys can just kind of use them as springboards and get into them as you like.
Perfect.
And then once the new readers are satisfied, we have a number of other ones as well. I have some personal optional questions about like, how did this thing happen? But that is just if we have enough time. So
cool.
Yeah, go ahead and get into those topics right at the top there.
Well, I don't have the doc, but whoever does, yeah, if we can, oh, there we go. Okay. But let's go ahead and talk to some of the newer people. Spider-Man.
Yes.
Are you new?
I read the question arcs 15 years ago.
Okay.
And now I'm back to finish the job. So.
Okay. You excited to finish the fight?
Finish the fight. Yeah, I'm excited to go through this journey. I'm not sure I was really in a place where I could really appreciate the effort and care that Ryukyushi was putting into this work when I first read it, because I was 18 at the time.
18.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like reacting to Evangelion when I was like, I think it was like 16. And just like not really having context for a lot of the shit that was being brought up, just being like, cool robot, you know?
Yeah.
And then going back to it as like an old graying man. It's like, oh, wow.
I will say, I don't know if I'm the resident Zoomer of this podcast, but Umineko was my Evangelion.
I'm also a Zoomer, so.
All right,
High five.
Zoomer Alliance. I give you a virtual handshake.
I'm
We
just
need-
barely a Zoomer. Just barely.
Pale and millennials, does that
I'm
count?
also barely a Zoomer. I think I missed a Zoomer train by like a year.
Yeah, about 2 years or so. Yeah.
Okay, we
Oh,
get it. You
Man,
guys
what
are
you thinking
young.
about?
Jeez.
Bob, I'm almost 30. That's not young.
So, you're almost
Yeah,
30, so you're in your 20s.
I'm 29 currently, but it's a few months away.
Politely, respectfully, shut your mouth. Anyway. I kid. I want to make sure that like I'm not. That was purely a joke. I'm not fucking weird about that. Anyways, if anyone here, I'm stuttering over I'm stumbling over my speech. Anyone who is new who wants to talk really quickly about their feelings, their thoughts about the section we just played, go ahead and speak up.
My feeling is I really do feel like Jessica is the one who is reacting to this situation the way I most would be. I think. I mean, I've said a lot in the chat of the streams that you've done both on Twitch and in the Discord that just like Jessica's the only normal one here. But I forget who it was, but the word grounded, that very much describes her. She is feeling profound grief. She is feeling anger. She is also feeling this determination. And the way she's expressing it, I don't know, it just feels really... It feels natural to me, and I feel like she has an appropriate amount of patience with Maria. Mm-hmm. And then when her patience with Maria ends, she deals with that appropriately as well, I think.
George's reactions to Maria... At first, it's like, oh, he's good with kids, but like, dog.
Like, because it's like I do like I said, I wasn't really ready for this thing when I was 18, and I mean a big part of that is I remember my first read through of this. I very much did not like Maria. I very much was wondering what her problem was. And, it's just like I knew a lot less about neurodivergence then. And I mean, in my defense, there wasn't, there were less things known about it then. This is long enough that it was in like... Do you remember the days of self-diagnosed Asperger's before it became... Yes, it was that era. So yeah, looking at that, with Maria in context, I do understand her a lot more. I find myself feeling very sad for her because, I mean, I am on team Beatrice doesn't exist. I am on team the people who died aren't going to get resurrected magically. And she very much is. And I find that very sad. I do think the thing she does when she starts speaking completely differently, I do think that's a little creepy still.
Oh, yeah.
I'm unnerved by that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like, I think what Ryakishi is doing there is very real. Like, I think that there are reactions that we have, like, that humans have to certain things that are just natural. Like, naturally, you're going to react to, someone's tone completely shifting because, I don't know, there's something in our lizard brain that tells us something's weird, something's off. But like, I feel like Ryakishi's going to like examine this and really kind of like hone in on it. Because for me, with Maria, I think that what she's doing when she goes into that's a hyper focus. That's like that's her special interest. That's like when you talk to a kid about Pokemon cards and then they launch into it and they're like really excited and they become like a completely different kid. Versus like the shy little dude who was just hanging out like a minute earlier. Also, can we not post GIFs of rocking chairs in the chat as a reaction to people turning 30 this year?
I'm sorry. It was the first gift that came up.
My God, that is so rude. That is.
I'm sorry. Hey, but one day I will also be old and I will also be made fun of by young people. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
This is generational trauma.
Okay,
This is a
this
real
off of
generation
I wish
trauma.
they zoomed to the pole.
Let's get back to Umineko. Umineko, sorry.
Okay, I
Umineko,
have
Umineko.
one question though. What's your age? Like in
Who?
the actual number.
Me?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to answer that
no,
question.
no.
You do not have to answer that question.
Answer the question. I
Well,
want everyone to like
Take it a
burst
turn.
into flames.
I do love boob vids, so I have to answer.
Oh well.
I'm 24.
Okay.
Zoomers are getting old, man. They're not young anymore. They're getting
I'm-
old.
I swear to God. Okay.
Swaddling you up.
Fine.
So I just wanted to
25.
get in there on the previous topic there and say
Yes.
they did make a
Jan
point.
keeping us honest.
They did make a
Thank
point
you.
during the one of the chapters before more people started dying to say that like it's really not that uncommon for girls especially to have really particular interests that they get really into.
Yeah,
just
I think
as a
Jessica
matter of defining
mentioned.
their identity.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
yeah.
Jessica mentioned being into witches and stuff, or at least like that being an interest for of girls.
Yeah, like that and astrology is one of the stereotypes, of course. But like,
Yeah.
you know,
Wiccan phase.
Ryukishi really does like to make a point of being like, here's this strange character, but are they really that strange when you think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that humanization that he's so good at. Like, yeah. I'm really excited for like that's what's so fucking interesting but frustrating at this point in the story. Rosa sucks. I hate her. But why, like, she seems like a nice person, and then you hit that moment and it's like, what? For people who don't know, there was a really awful moment with Rosa and Maria where Maria was in the rose garden and she lost a rose, and I have a theory that Rosa took that rose because, I don't know, either that or maybe it was George. Maybe George is like a fucking piece of shit, but we don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, like as far as that scene, it very much felt like Maria was having like a possibly an autistic meltdown or throwing a tantrum. Like I'm not too familiar with how meltdowns look, just because I've not experienced
absolutely.
it, but it definitely it read like that to me.
I can speak from personal experience. I did kind of relate to it. I am autistic, and I was like, I mean, yeah, the idea of there being like one thing that like should be happening and it's not happening, like the rose being there and it's not there.
Yeah.
That is something that has like really messed me up at some
I
point.
believe she had a similar reaction when her mom wasn't there the next morning. Like, it's supposed
Yeah.
to be there. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be like this. Why is it not like this? It doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say about Maria as an autistic character, there's one thing that does bug me, and it's a trope, and I know that like it's often not intentional and not really thought about, but like there is a trope of like autistic people not really understanding the concept of death and like having a lack of empathy towards like someone dying. And I know what like obviously like Maria isn't even like canonically autistic or anything, but like it just kind of bugged me, the idea that, and again, like it makes sense in the story and how they're writing it. It's just, I don't know, this kind of lack of empathy towards the dead that autistic characters can sometimes be written with, and like I'm not like upset about it or anything. I was just like, oh, this again.
Well, I think a little part of it is also just age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she does
Yeah,
repeatedly keep saying like, "We'll see them later. We'll be back."
Yeah,
with them
yeah.
again
But
later."
I mean, that's part of it, is the idea of like not understanding death is something I've seen being like kind of autistic, especially in like in media.
Right.
I've seen about like autistic, especially children, this idea that like they see a dead body and don't really understand or like care that it's dead. I've seen that like in multiple media, and I don't know.
That's fair.
It bugs me.
Yeah, no, I see that. I think the only thing that I can say against that factoid is just in the I know, like Bob, you're assuming that like Maria is the one writing all of those character blurbs, so I'm just gonna run with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you read Rosa's description, she's like, yeah, I'm sad she's no longer here, but we're being reunited soon. So I think she does understand like she's gone.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's not something I'm like upset about. Really, it's just it's just
less,
like a trope that
exactly.
I'm just
It's less.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I get why it exists in this media, and like I'm fine with it, and I understand it. It's just like, damn it, not again. But it's fine.
That's the other aspect of this that I wouldn't. I totally understand the frustration and the trope being just like, but tropes in general is just like, oh god. But Ryakishi, I would have faith in him over a lot of other writers to deploy tropes like that, especially early on, to interface with them later on. Like it's very possible that he's doing that for a reason. I don't know. I haven't finished it, but we'll see, I guess.
Okay, I mean, at least there are far worse tropes that could of autistic, and again, like she's not even like canonically autistic, even though like
she's heavily coded.
Heavily coded, but like there are so many worse tropes that could be going on here that aren't. And I really like Maria, so I'm fine with it ultimately.
I will say, I think the CGs that are added in definitely play into it in a bad way. That's like, that's not necessary. That's not what is going on.
The smile,
especially that creepy smile CG.
The anime's not much better.
I'll also say from my own perspective, before the same friend who had me read Umineko, the first four arcs, they started me off with Higurashi, and they're like, yeah, just watch the anime. So
why would they do that to you?
I don't know.
Remember,
so I don't know why.
Well, we'll not talk about spoilers, but anyway.
Well, so with that in mind, perhaps if I had read Higurashi before I read Umineko and had that sort of and had Ryakushi's empathetic writing style in mind instead of what the Higurashi anime is, I would have taken a bit more.
Marisa says Higu anime isn't as bad as Umi. What?
Oh no, the Umineko anime is so bad. It's really horrible.
Umineko anime is half-baked and terrible.
Like you can watch the Higurashi anime and have a great time. It's fine. Like obviously there's a lot of stuff missing, but like the Umineko anime is so rushed and everyone looks like they're melting.
Also, I just want to say Shannon has introduced boobs first. Characters are constantly wiggling. Everyone's reaction to their mom dying is, I have to get my face in her boobs right now. I don't know what it is about boobs in that anime.
What the hell?
Well, I mean,
we have
bobvids right here. We can ask him.
That you've seen.
So, Kratom, what was that?
It's a scene we've already experienced, so it's not a spoiler. But like, in the anime, George dives boob first into his dead mom.
Jesus,
insane.
What?
Yeah,
they do it with Jessica too.
I've forgotten about
It's
that.
outrageous, but it's still there.
You not cradle their face or like say like mom, like nope, boob first.
You have to
really
return to
that.
a comforting place in a moment of duress.
He thinks the animators had a fixation. I don't know. The anime sucks.
Yeah. I think most
There's a
Umineko fans
specific-
just kind of don't accept that the anime even exists. Like, just
There's
it's
a-
not real. It didn't happen. Just
Like-
forget
a
about it.
specific GIF from like much later in the anime, and I don't know when it'll happen, but I'm always thinking about it when I think about that anime, and it's not good.
Oh, I'm thinking of some gifs from the Higurashi anime, and oh boy. Why?
Can I-
Why piss? Anyway,
What? I don't remember this.
don't worry about it. It's fine.
Can I say something that Clover Femu said in the chat?
Yeah,
that I
sure.
think is related to what I was talking about with Maria. They said the one thing I can say on this also that the third factor is like as someone who grew up evangelical, being convinced that resurrection will meet again can really fuck up stuff as well. I think there's definitely a relation that can be made there. The idea that like a lot of like evangelical Christianity is like it's gonna be fine after we die. Like and right now, like we can make things as bad as we need them to be because if we do everything bad that we need, but like it'll be worth it when we go to heaven and everything will be good.
Yeah, because this is a test. Like all of this is a test, so it doesn't it kind of matters if you pass or fail, but not really. Like life will go on.
Wow.
There's an aspect of it where it's like, and I'm interested if this, like, there's a lot of Christian like shit going on in Umineko, like
all
a
the,
weird
like,
amount.
devils.
She is able to quote the Bible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And I think she's into Kabbalah as well, a number of things.
yeah, she was very scared about that. But like, yeah, it's fascinating. Like, I'm really interested in if we're going to go like more of a, I can see this. I can see Umineko ending with like a really uplifting message about how like we're like to put it in the words of a famous filmmaker, we are here now. So, if you know, you know. Because I don't remember his name. But anyway, Neil. I keep forgetting that dude's name.
I attended one of his movies at a theater screening. It was wonderful.
Incredible. What's up, Broken Bee? Awesome. I see we've got another witch in here by the name of Kate.
Hello. Sorry, was my mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi, saw you jump
sorry
in.
for being late.
No, it's all good. How'd you feel? Because you're a fellow newbie, right?
No, which means I've
Rip.
actually fully completed.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, okay. Well, I'm asking all of the old heads, the old seagull heads, favorite characters. Who's your favorite character right now? Put yourself in the mindset of when you first started Umineko. Who is your favorite character?
So it was Battler. I was completely ride or die for Battler.
Okay.
I actually started off really disliking Maria, and I feel really bad about that. Because in the end, I ended up seeing a lot of myself in her and reflecting a lot on my own experience growing up as autistic and undiagnosed. And being able to, I think, have Umineko as a story of seeing yourself in some of these characters and learning to recognize parts of yourself in them is really important to me. And it's why I really value it as a story and why I continue to, follow along with it. So I really don't want to influence your thinking in any major ways, so I'm really not going to talk too much. But yeah, thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. Dragon Quest Beast, thank you so much for the follow. iCat, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I think when I was playing, I really liked Battler. I did like Natsuhi by the end of it, but I think just Battler overall, I thought, like, as a protagonist moving that story forward, he was extremely likable, barring,
I literally forgot about it. And then,
but yeah, I think unlike Keiichi, who kind of has like bad moments for a while, I think Battler is like kind of just has good moments. Like
yeah, I think he only has like one more of those, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree. It's just like in general, like the obnoxious ludidity of this story compared to other Ryukishi stories is much lower, just on a pound for pound basis.
Yeah, he definitely matured as a writer, and he's continued to do so over time.
Yeah,
Umineko does not have an angel mort.
Shit.
You know Battler would visit the angel mort, though. You just know he would.
Battler is the angel mort, yeah.
Yeah, personified. All right.
Yeah, and I think it says something that even in like his, in his worst moment, his like main comment was like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting to go this far. Someone stop me, please. Oh God."
And that's part of my gay hypothesis about Battler. All of his stuff about women has been very performative. I think that's interesting. He doesn't really seem to have much actual attraction to women, in more of a like, well, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's
you
my
think he like inherited that from his dad or some?
Maybe. Like, that's my one piece of evidence for my gay Battler theory. That's all I have so far.
He said something about he found someone very attractive, or like he mentions women being beautiful. Was it Beatrice he was like enamored with, or was it who was it?
Yeah. He was immediately like,
oh, this lady. I hope I could suck her toes one day. Anyway, what am I talking about? Who knows?
I mean, if you have eyes and you don't find, if you have eyes, you find Beatrice beautiful.
It's true.
Yeah, like, and I think even if we do, you know, even if we do parse him as straight or attracted to women, there is always an element of performative heterosexuality.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, he very much seems like he has like a, I don't know if it's like self-confidence or what he's like compensating for, but no matter what, it is a very performative thing he's doing with the way he talks about women in a way that does feel very teenage boy in an unfortunate way.
There's even that bit with Shannon where he's like, I'm just doing this as a bit. You're not supposed to let me do it.
Yeah, I think Jules mentioned that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, Jules. I see that. I see that read.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Like he didn't actually want to touch your boobs. He just felt like he was doing it.
Yeah. He was doing it because he expected to get smacked away, and that was, he specifically mentioned, I'm pretty sure that it was like kind of an icebreaker or something, that it wasn't,
which is very stupid.
Yeah. It's like, well, I mean,
yeah, but like
that's the other aspect of Battler. He's kind of stupid.
Well, you can see it in like a couple of his interactions where he's the type to, like, when things are getting tense, to just kind of like distract by making a joke to calm people's nerves.
Yeah. I like that aspect of him. I also like that, I forget who mentioned it in the chat, but someone said that, like, out of everybody, Battler was the one person to actually, like, speak up to against Rose's, like, physical abuse of Maria. And so it was like,
what really endeared me to him.
It would have endeared me more if he actually, like, stopped it, but I get it. It's a,
Evan, what are you going to do with your aunt, you know?
Yeah, and that kind of, to me, shows just like what a kind of family they all grew up in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, clearly, like, obviously, I don't think that they expect as much abuse from their parents as their parents expected from Kinzo, but it is kind of a family where clearly some level of, like, this kind of harshness is kind of normalized, and I think that, like, if, like, someone was there who hadn't grown up in that family and who wasn't the servant, they might have been like, what the hell, and try to get Rosa to stop. But I think that for this family specifically, it's kind of unfortunately somewhat normalized. And yeah I don't know. I'm curious if we'll learn more about, like, how the other three kids were raised and how much what they might have gotten from their parents.
This story is too long to not like get a lot of info about.
I just wanted to say, like, I bring this up a lot, of course, but, like, I really do believe that Ryukishi uses his protagonists as, like, a intentional bridge between the story and the reader, like, thinking in particular about the reader as part of it. So, like, I think it makes a lot of sense because, like, he wants you as the reader to go, like, wait, that's messed up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, even if you as the reader necessarily can't change it, like, you can't stop it from happening, you should want to, at the very least.
Yeah.
I do what, like, does, like, would Hideyoshi or Ava be physically abusive to George? I'm really not sure, and I think I'm on record as being, like, the way Battler talks to his dad does not, like his dad will twist his ear or something, or like in, like, a way that's clearly, like, kind of like
loving.
Hey, cut it out, kind of playful, but it kind of playful, kind of fucking not. But, like, man, I could never.
That's one of the really interesting.
I think Rosa might be the outlier here in the family. I think in the family, at least when it comes to that generation.
I'm very interested. Rose is definitely an outlier in a lot of ways, one of which being that she's the only person there without her spouse. So I think that she's also the youngest, and that kind of alienates you in another way. But I'm with you. Like, I'm very interested in what is going on there. I mean, I have my theory about, like, kind of what's happening with that. Gail's not in the call, but they're listening. Okay, cool. Hi, Gail. Hope the pizza is delicious.
You liar. You said you weren't joining. Oh my goodness.
I couldn't help myself. I'm enjoying listening to everyone's discussion, that's for sure.
I do think with Rosa, like,
they all bully her too, some black femme,
Like, Bob, I'm interested to know like where your head might be at B motivation, because with Rosa, I just think like Rosa's frustrated as hell. I can't remember if I heard this phrase in like a previous discussion on here, but it was just like, this isn't the child I ordered. Sort of just it is her kind of, it's her having a temper tantrum, essentially. Her reacting to Maria's temper tantrum with an adult temper tantrum. Which is,
I'm gonna say,
because it's just like,
I'm gonna say something.
Okay.
I don't know how much I want to say, but I think it's very telling that. Okay, so there are physically abusive relationships. There are parents who physically abuse their children, and a lot of the time it's out of neglect or like, I just want this, not even neglect, just like absent-mindedness of just like, I don't care about, like, you're just like a thing to me. Like you're not doing the thing I want. Like this machinery is not working correctly. I have been very, I have experience with shitty parents, and I have experience with parents who are physically abusive. And there is an aspect of Rosa that's, the physical abuse of Maria is awful, shouldn't happen. It really, it kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it triggered the shit out of me when it happened. But I think we should also realize that she woke up after her nap and was freaking out about where Maria was. She immediately was like, wait, it's not that I thought that she, like, what's the word? That she, it's not that all of that shit is like, the physical abuse is like, I'm not hand waving it at all. But I'm thinking, much like Ryokishi did with Silent Hill F, I think we need to take a wide angle view of this person, because a lot of the time in abusive relationships, they don't give a shit. They literally, they would not care if, the kid just wandered off. I think that her waking up and then being like, where the fuck is Maria, is very, it's telling and it's interesting.
When I first played that section, I remember thinking, is she maybe bipolar?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's there is an aspect of her character that really makes me think like, okay, I can launch into a theory time if we wanted to do that.
Sure.
We could. Just before we do that, I think Rosa, she is extremely compelling as a character to me, because she is a horrible mother. She's, obviously incredibly abusive to her child.
Yeah.
But it also pulls back a little bit, and you see that she feels this immense shame about being a horrible mother. And just in that way, she's like very, very believable to me, the way that it's portrayed. And I feel like Ryokishi is, he knows exactly what he's doing, and I have to be careful, but I definitely think that Rosa, you're meant to feel particular ways about her, and eventually Rosa definitely, I felt different about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm getting that vibe very much. It interfaces very much with my theory about how I think that we're going to get more. I think we're going to get more from Rosa, and I think that she is going to be a large, if not pivotal, role in the story. I think that there's some stuff that's being set up that make me very like fucking eyes emoji like with this shit. To talk that was for you Zoomers who we don't talk in acronyms anymore. We talk in emojis. And FYI, if you are 30 or younger, even if you're 30, if you're not 40, you're young. Shut up. You're a baby. You're a child. I don't want any of this. I don't want any of this. Anyway.
With Rosa, it was I want to say, like, it's been a minute since I was first reading it, but I want to say that before the Rose Garden scene, I was considering her, like, maybe my favorite character. But, like,
No,
and then that happened, and then I'm like,
same.
I know,
loved
yeah.
Rose. She was awesome. She was like
Yeah.
a pretty decent fucking person. She was interfacing with what's her name? Bachan Kumasawa. I wanted to say that, but I was like, no, that's not right. Yeah, Kumasawa, like talking to her, treating her like a fucking human being. Like anyone, like of all the people there, everybody was kind of. Oh, the biggest moment for me with Rosa was when she was the one to tell the fucking idiot like speedboat wannabe captain motherfucker to like slow down because Battler's gonna fucking puke chunks over into the fucking. The all over the fucking deck. So like that, like no one else, everybody thought it was, oh haha, fun wee. And like I don't know if anyone's been in a situation where like no one is like paying attention like Rosa was in that scene. Also, I just learned that Kate Broken Bee is George years old. So that's cheers. Happy George Day.
I wanted to just Gail, do you have your mic on? Okay, no. I just wanted to get in there for a second. Sorry, Gail is in the room with me, so sometimes there's some doubling.
Is Gail in the room with you?
Gail is
Can
lurking.
she respond? Is she in our presence?
So
is Gail Beatrice?
I am a witch, it's true.
Oh hell yeah. That's fucking sick.
I was just going to say earlier, I think it's very interesting and effective the way that Rosa is framed initially, specifically in contrast to the rest of the family, because you kind of feel that sort of intimacy with her in terms of like, oh yeah, she's kind of more like us than she is the other adults. She's almost like one of us. And then that's pulled out from under you very purposefully.
I think there's something to be considered as well with Rosa being a single mother, raising a child of kind of complicated needs. That is extremely hard. And to me, the moment like where she lashed out at Maria just felt like someone at the end of her rope. And like not knowing, like, I don't know what to do. And obviously it wasn't that, but like, she just feels like she just felt so frustrated in that moment that like I kind of understood, even though I was like, no, God is not like this.
That's one of the.
I mean, yes, but it is like I think it's pretty clear that like she has gotten to the end of her rope multiple times before. This might not be exactly exactly like a daily occurrence, but it's very much normalized.
Yeah, it is normalized, and but the thing that I'm thinking with regard to Rosa is that I think it's normalized out of like a sense of frustration, but I guess what am I trying to say? Okay, so here's the thing that I think Rikishi is doing here. Rikishi writes very like. Based on other works of his that I've read, very great. Now I'm okay. Maybe I should just shut up. Siri, stop. What are you doing? Shut up. Jesus. Anyway, so the thing that I was going to try and say that I'm trying to get out of my fucking mouth is Rosa feels very real. Rosa feels like she is not. I think we should allow Rosa to make a mistake. And I think that one of the mistakes that everybody is making is letting Rosa keep making this mistake. And I think that something that Rikishi is going to interface with is this aspect of her. I could be totally wrong. And at the same time, like, I fucking hate, like, words cannot describe how fucking triggered that fucking shit made me. Like, it fucking pissed me off. And but at the same time, like I think that's where this is. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna disconnect the fucking iPad.
One thing I wanted to say again from like the autistic perspective, like I love my parents so much. They did most things right. But one thing that I kind of felt is this that I've recognized in my parents is this helplessness that you feel when your child can't do something that you feel like they should be able to do. Like, and like something is just not clicking for them the way that like
Yeah.
that they just don't quite understand. Like they don't understand, and I think that's a really like frustrating thing for parents,
Yeah.
and it can cause a lot of parents of autistic kids just like don't know how to handle it and take it out on the kid.
Yeah.
And I think that I definitely saw a lot of that frustration in Rosa of like, why can't you stop caring about this flower? Like just not being able to comprehend why this mattered so much to Maria. And like it was a very like recognizable feeling, even though my parents are great. They knew that like in times like that you needed to kind of give me space and not like force me to do stuff and etc. But like clearly Rosa does not have any support system at all. Or like and her being a single mother, like she doesn't have someone helping her, someone to talk sense into her. And again, we don't really know what is up with the guy, Maria's dad. And so that again, I'm very interested to learn what's up with him.
Yeah, I'll be frank, that's the reason why I'm very like Rosa sucks in a bunch of ways, but I think Rosa is doing things for a reason. I think that she is maybe treating her child potentially how she was treated. And I think that like of all of the characters, I really hope I'm right. I want to say that Rosa would, once she understands really like what she's doing, because I don't think that she's clocking. I don't think anyone's clocking it. I think everyone just kind of, there's a space carved out in this family for physical abuse that is just like normalized. And once she realizes like what that does, of everybody in the family, I think Rosa would be willing to change. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe I'm just projecting what I want her to like,
No, I agree. Yeah. And I think even Maria knows that because she has this whole thing of like, we will be resurrected in the Golden Land, and the version of my mother that is the one that I wish she was she knows that there is a version of her mother that will love her the right way and that she can love in the right way. But she just does not have access to that version of her on Earth. And I like they said, that's part of what the reason that this whole Golden Land is so appealing to Maria.
Yeah.
Is like when we go there, my mom will be the best version of herself and will be so happy.
Yeah.
And the fact that like there is that itself gives me a hope of like even Maria kind of knows it is possible to have a version of her mother that is good. I think it's interesting.
Oh, Talsreal, the text mentioned that Rosa and the other younger siblings got abuse from Kraus as well as Kinzo. Yeah, that's what I was referencing. We talked a little bit about that earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, also I just wanted to say Gail wanted to get in there, and Draconic Wolf has a point as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I was going to kind of like mention one of the major things about like Japanese work culture, especially, is that women are very frequently expected to leave the workforce once they have children, and especially once they get married, to the point where like they'll have their hours actually reduced. They'll be forced into like only sort of like contract positions and a lot of other things. So even though Rosa is sort of like definitely has her own business, just like Kraus and the others have, like she is in a very unique position as a woman who has a child at the same time. And it really interests me the way that she is kind of forced to navigate the world as not just a woman, but also someone who is trying her best to work and provide for her daughter. And I think I mentioned previously that on Lake Koseki, the family registry, like when kids are born out of wedlock, that's literally like mentioned on it. And that's considered to be like a really negative thing for like a child's future. And it kind of speaks to a lot of different aspects of how Rosa is very literally pushed into a corner. And of course, it doesn't negate the very literal abuse that she's inflicting upon her own daughter, but I feel like all of these aspects really compellingly inform it. One of the other things, just kind of like lightly with Higurashi, like there are female mother characters who are mentioned who are kind of not like they're not important characters, but the idea of how they abuse their children is something relevant to that narrative as well. And it feels like Rosa is intended to be a very deep exploration of that exact kind of character. Like where Higurashi is about kids, like Umineko is very much about adults. And again, like I just find that to be all in all, like very, very cool. Like you don't see that kind of nuanced perspective on adults and the way that they interface with their own children in both positive and negative ways. And like that complicated, like I think ICAT, you mentioned like the idea of her being bipolar. I really vibe with that interpretation as well, in terms of like how her emotions jump between really strong extremes.
Yeah. And it's even another aspect of examination is how, like, a lot of these things that we have names for now, they did not have, like, the way that we understand in a current context, autism and bipolar disorder and all these other psychological and various other issues. We just didn't know like what the hell was going on with people like 30, 40 years ago.
And
like,
I mean,
even
yeah.
the diagnosis and understanding of ADHD is even like mutating to this day. But like when I was a kid, it was like, that was the new thing. It was all the rage. Oh, does your kid have ADHD? Well, we got to treat him. It's just like, it's one of those things where it's so interesting because like my generation had that kind of, that whole, not saying that, and I do not mean to imply that ADHD is like false or like, I think that there was a misunderstanding that was being broadly applied to a bunch of different kids. And it wasn't like, so many times this happens where we just we use, what was this? There was this amazing phrase that I heard the other day. We used the wrong hammer for a screw. And it's like the way that we as a society interface with a lot of these psychological issues is just, it was just like, it was new, so everybody was kind of like trying to understand it, and now we have a way more nuanced understanding of of these things. And not saying that it's correct, but at the same time, back then there was no understanding. There was just like, oh, I guess you're kind of weird, huh?
I mean, it's also worth noting that, at least in Japan, to my understanding, specifically at that time, there was a very big stigma around mental illness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there still is with certain societies, and yeah.
I mean, and there still is in America. You know, like it's just not as big as it was back then. But like, yeah, I think definitely when taking into account in like any sort of diagnosis thing with like autism or bipolar, borderline person, anything like that, that like, especially for a rich family like the Ushinomiyas, like that's gonna be a difficult thing to grapple with, probably.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah, and I also kind of wanted to contribute to that. Like, it was really only in the 90s that mental health became a kind of really strong cognizant thing in Japan, because when the economic bubble burst, there was a lot of people committing suicide. And that's sort of when that is the point where there ended up starting to be a lot more kind of actual recognition of mental illness, and especially like things like PTSD, which prior to that point were not getting like the attention, or again were like stigmatized. And that didn't take away from the stigma necessarily in full, but it led to a very strong sort of change. And it like continued through like the early 2000s as Ryukishi was writing Higurashi, and into, of course, like the time that he was writing Umineko as well. And it feels as a whole, like, very significant to have in this time period someone who is very engaged with the idea of how mental illness affects people's lives, especially when, like, a lot of language was still being formed around it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense for him as a social worker to be like with like under like no, in the loop about that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another aspect of this that I wanted to talk about. I think one of the reasons I love Maria so much is because she feels like a real person who Rikishi maybe interfaced with at some point in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like her mannerisms are very. I mean, she'll speak for herself. So like, it's it's just like, okay, Maria, Maria. Okay, you gotta let her. You gotta let her just do her train. You done? Oh, now she's mad at me. Okay. Anyway, Kenzo, you have anything to say?
Say that to everything, Kenzo.
Okay. You want to shut the door on him? Okay. There he goes again. There he goes again. Oh my God, this man. Anyway, so yeah. What's that, Purpley?
I'm sorry, I was just reacting to the emote. I forgot to mute myself. I'm sorry.
I mean, after seeing her, I get it, Tuba.
But yeah, what's that?
I was just gonna say, just before we move on from the characters, just going off of my initial reading of this, it is funny seeing everyone's reactions to George, because boy, I certainly had a lot more of a nicer impression of the guy. I just thought he was a loser. People,
yeah, I'm with you. Like he's a goober. Like definitively, you look up goober in the dictionary, and it's good old George right there. The thing, I'm okay. I guess this is a good. Actually, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I think that probably also speaks to just me and my like personal like life experiences, where I see someone like George, and where someone can be like, wow, well, some of the stuff he did is like super not cool. I just will go like, yeah, he's a loser. It just kind of like signs the fact that like, for the longest time did just I don't know about everyone here, but society just kind of writes them off in that certain way as this kind of like. Not very quote unquote malicious.
Yeah, like there's a silent malice to him that I find upsetting. It's one of those things where it kind of reminds me of like this is probably bad, but it's kind of it's kind of a good like touchstone for it, like a jock. Where it's just like society is just like, oh, this person is because of attributes that they didn't really have any control over, looks, physical ability. They're on the fast track. Like everybody is just like, oh, okay, this person is a success. Like no matter what, they just treat them like, oh, you're good. Like we don't have to worry about you. You just you do your thing, and then they'll like go on and be like a fucking maniac and just do the worst shit imaginable, and people will just be like, oh no, you're fine. Meanwhile, the people they're bullying get thrown in like detention and shit. It Ted Bundy shit. Yes, Purpley, yes, that is what I'm going for. Not that all jocks are Ted Bundy, but I'm just talking about in terms of like what iCat's saying. They're kind of invisible to a critical lens, a societal like sort of criticism. Jan, what's up?
Yeah, if I wanted to, Olo also has something to say, but just building off of what you're saying, George has a very important skill within his culture, which is keeping essentially. Like
you're cutting out. What did you say? Harmony?
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It ducked.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. He has a very, very important skill within his culture, which is just like keeping harmony, which is like kind of making everything go back to being okay.
He's a centrist.
That's it.
Yeah. That's why I fucking hate him.
Like his whole and like the thing is, like, I won't get into super amounts of detail here, of course, but it's like because of his position within the family, because of his skills keeping that peace, whether that's good or not, he gets a lot of respect for. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
You're ducking a lot. It's making
Really?
it kind of difficult to understand what you're saying.
Really, you can't. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It's just that I think you've got Discord set to aggressive on noise gating. Because I think it's gating your actual voice. But while you check that, Olo, what's up? You got something to say about George? Ominous.
Yes.
I have something to say about George.
It's really, I'm not sure. At first I was thinking like, oh, this is maybe something that happened because the way I was reading it was like a little subpar. I was admittedly watching like a quote unquote no commentary playthrough and just reading the words, but at the time in my first read through of it, I didn't catch the mention of George's like age, so I thought that he was closer to like 18. So I was thinking that he and Shannon were like much closer in age, and so I was admittedly letting myself see the I was letting myself fall into the like romantic angle of it all. Like I was like, oh, this is so sweet and so romantic, and like yes, it is the power imbalance, but it is that thing of like, oh, I'm in romance story mode with these.
Yeah.
But now thinking back on it, it feels like I feel like I got taken in.
How about
by George?
I do not. Oh, sorry.
Do I sound okay now?
Yeah, but again, we'll really know once you start talking and getting into
Sorry,
it.
go ahead, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I do not clock George as like 24. He is very much like there's Maria, the small child, and then there's the adult children, Jessica, Battler, and George.
Yeah.
Like that, and George. Yeah, no, him being 24 instead of like 18 or like 19 is
23, but yes.
23, but yeah, no, it's. I mean, some people develop at different rates, which is like, again, yeah, no, it's a lot more sus, is the way I'll put it. It's a lot more sus knowing his. It's a lot more sus keeping his age in mind and keeping in mind the way that he essentially allows himself, because he's an adult but he still has Izumi and Ava.
I thought you said Renesmee for a second, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
No.
What
He
story
still
are we
has
talking about here?
like when the shed gets opened, he's essentially one of the children, not being allowed to look inside.
Right.
And that I think is kind of. I think that says a lot, but I'm not quite sure exactly what that is.
I think that was more. Go ahead.
It's like, it seems like a plan that there's like he may be 23, but there's some sort of, maybe for whatever reason, there's like a maturity stunt on him.
Yes, exactly.
Just really quick, I do want to hear from Pimp, since they had their hand up for a while.
Yeah, my comments on George are kind of simple. I feel like a lot of what I believe has been touched on, but I really resent George because to me he represents kind of the failure to break that cycle of abuse. The way he talks about what happens in the Rose Garden with Rosa.
Yeah.
It's very much him perpetrating, I think, the same problems that caused probably the issue in the first place. Like, he is probably going to go on and start a family with the same kinds of issues. And to me, that's why I think George is one of my lowest tier. Like, I don't like George.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's very compelling to me as well.
He's very interesting if examined in a certain light. And yeah, that's the thing about like all of these characters, is that if they weren't in a Ryakishi story, I wouldn't have any faith that they would be like approached at with any kind of like interesting like sort of angle or humanity. They would just be like kind of one note. But Ryakishi, the way that he sort of constructs these characters in so many different angles and presents them in certain lights so that you have an idea of them, but then fleshes them out. That's one of the reasons why I'm really excited to get into the further stuff, because that's one of the cool things that I'm hoping with episode 2 is that we get more like angles of these characters. I want to see how George reacts when he can't preserve the status quo. What does he do? Like, I'm really interested in what Battler does if he is forced to actually like do something about Rosa. You know, like I'm really interested in how all these different characters like sort of react to things. Jules, you have reactions to George. I hear they're very negative and you hate him.
But
oh, wrong one. Fuck!
I don't hate him, but I think he's very irresponsible in a lot of ways. And
I think he's creepy.
Because what I was gonna say is the revelation that like Jessica has kind of a crush on Cannon to me was pretty interesting, because in a sense that's the same sort of thing where like George has a crush on Shannon, Jessica has a crush on Cannon. However, Jessica, I don't think would act on it if she had realized before. Like, I think that Jessica at least has the sense to be like, okay, I should not romantically pursue a servant because there's a power imbalance there. I mean, I think that's probably part of the reason that she didn't realize is because, like, she knew that, like, that wasn't really something she should consider. But George, like, realizing he's into a servant shouldn't, when you realize that, you shouldn't pursue it, though. Like there is a power balance there that ideally you would understand and respect, but George did. Yeah.
And this is one of the things that I think the story is going for. Maybe George saw that happening elsewhere within the family.
Yeah.
We don't know how Kinzo fell in love with the other woman. It maybe okay. What is going on, Jan? What I'm seeing gifs. What it was?
Sorry, I've just been waiting in line for a bit.
You want to go ahead?
Everyone's just waiting their turn. Everyone's going to speak.
Go ahead.
I've talked too much.
Sorry. I just wanted to onto before, like with keeping the harmony. By the way, do I sound okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Like, he was great at like kind of handling Maria's fixations and interests by just kind of going along with it and like, you know, I mean, like, yes, that does sound interesting, but without necessarily engaging her on it in the same way that Battler did.
Placating.
And then later, it's, well, that's her child. We shouldn't interfere. We should let this family handle it themselves. And I've been watching The Fresh Prince as of late. So at the best of times, I see George as a bit of a Carlton.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Although I do not imagine George running from set to set, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Also, George cannot dance like Carlton does.
No.
That's true.
I'm not sure I can imagine George buying a gun because Battler got into the hospital.
Give me a hug, man.
Give me a hug, man. I do really like drawing a parallel with him and Carlton. I think that's very good. That's very apt.
Like at the best of times, he's still that kind of dweeb. And like,
does that make Battler Will Smith?
A little bit. Think about it.
His life is flipped all upside down. If you think about it.
Let me see how my
flipped upside down.
All upside down.
How old are you again?
Who, me?
Yeah. Do you have context for that show?
I watched that show as a kid. I loved it.
Okay, thank God. All right, good. That was a good ass show. I still think to this day about
season.
That oh my God. There's so many amazing moments, but yeah, the why don't he love me, man speech. Oh man.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Sorry.
Fuck.
So
remember when Will Smith was good? Anyway.
Sorry. the other bit I wanted to get into was like, honestly, with regards to Shannon, and I won't get into a ton of detail here, it's just very subtle insidiousness where he doesn't even realize what he's doing, which is the problem, I think. And it really speaks to how a lot of men act, is like they might even think that they're doing something fine here without really understanding what the girl is going through. Like, are they in a position where they can safely actually rebuff you? Like, just because they don't say no doesn't mean yes. And him kind of going like, you do have to take the ring, but you can choose to put it on a finger.
That was so weird. Like,
yeah,
and then
it's a very subtle thing.
It's like on my first read as like a teenager, I really didn't get it because I was stupid. But like rereading it, it's like it's so obvious how coerced the whole scene is.
Same.
Even giving benefit to the doubt.
And then the whole thing about like what is she wearing a ring? It's like, what? I mean,
her face is gone.
Bro, like she's dead. She was killed. Like, why are you talking? Why are you asking about the fucking
And,
ring?
Like, you could
It's
also
just
ask,
weird.
like, well,
I don't know.
why don't the other people bring up the issue with the age? And it's like, well, the other ones that he can tell it to are his cousins who are themselves teenagers. They don't really get that. And, like, obviously there's also a cultural thing within, like, how age gaps in that era were viewed with older men and younger women, with, you know, teenagers and college boys. And, like, even in recent memory, like, this is like more of a personal note, but I was at around Shannon's age. I was in a relationship with that same age gap. And when I told my dad about it later, he didn't see the issue with it at all. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, unfortunately, some people just don't parse why that's an issue.
I also think...
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also think George just thinks he's saving her. Like, he thinks he's doing something noble by like, he thinks he's like Cinderella's prince or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's very entitled. I think that he doesn't quite register to him, like, having grown up in this kind of like wealth bubble. Like, he's like, I'm saving her, I'm doing a good thing, I'm helping her get out of a bad situation. And like, it doesn't click for him that's
like, oh, if she says no, that's us. Yeah, she now has a incentive for like her entire life to say yes to me in a way that gives me power over her. Because if ever say something, she takes back her yes, well, then she's gonna be fucked.
Yeah, like how in what like situation is she able to say no and just be like,
yeah?
It's like, if you say no, I mean you're fired basically, and it's like,
yeah.
The whole thing is just fraught, and it's interesting to. I want to finish the rest of the story because I'm very interested in where that goes and how that's examined, because that is worth examining, and I have faith that Ryukishi's going to examine it.
We had another person who also wanted to speak, I believe, and of course we still have a ton of topics that we
So let's go ahead. This will be the last thing we'll talk about before we get to the other topics. Who else wanted to talk?
It was me. I just wanted to defend a little bit of George. He was like 23, just got out. He was probably had a sheltered life and probably didn't have like a power dynamic under him in that way. So he couldn't understand what Shannon was going through.
Yeah. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what he's doing. I think is like.
But of course, that's no defense.
Of course, yeah. He doesn't realize that he doesn't realize that he's being manipulative.
It's an explanation, not an excuse.
Right, yes. Exactly. And that is such a key like aspect of that story, and that's the other thing that I was trying to say with Rosa. It's like I'm not trying to make excuses for her, but it is worth, just like with Silent Hill F, just like with some of the other characters that Ryukishi has written. It's not that the story wants to like excuse what they're doing. It just wants to examine it and allow them for like allow for you to like interface with their story in a way that affords you some growth. is some or sort of
Right.
understanding of a person and their mistakes.
They're not monsters. They're not monsters. They're not the devil. They are human beings. They are deeply, deeply flawed human
Yeah.
beings, but
And-
they are human beings. And I mean, I think you mentioned like in a previous discussion like sympathy for the devil, and it's like there are stories where like there are characters who like gleefully have zero redeeming qualities, and how we can look at like the real world and see like horrible things like that, far more inexcusable atrocities, and we can like I think I think in order for us to have, I'm not saying actually there's some nuance to child abuse. I'm saying it's when it's when we're looking at fictional characters and we're looking at who are we invested in, who do we want to get better, who do we want to grow, then yeah, I think
Yeah, like
I think Ryukishi gets us wanting his characters to grow. He doesn't
Right.
want, yeah.
For
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
just real quick, for a Rikishi story, the thing that I want the most and that I'm most excited to see more than any other story is a character understanding why they did what they did. It was wrong and apologizing and being able to actually like sort of get some comfort for myself, like from the fantastical idea of someone understanding that what they did was fucked up and apologizing sincerely. So that's the fantasy for me. But that. So anyway.
Yeah, like to my understanding, his approach is not to say. What his approach, I think, is saying like, we need to understand what type of person is actually doing this and why, if anything is to be done. It's not productive to kind of pretend that this is caricature of a person doing this for no reason. And we've also got another newbie crash landing in at the last second. Hello, Mel.
Mel, what's up? Is Mel Maria? Is it Melria? Oh.
Unsuppressed Mel, we demanded.
Wait, I thought you were already unsuppressed. Hold on, let me get... All right, try it now.
Ooh. So true. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm late, but I made it.
Hell yeah.
I review the first half, I guess, or first
Go for it.
First hour when on the VOD later. But how's it going, everyone?
It's going well. Mel, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the chapters that we played?
Shit was crazy.
I know, right? It's crazy.
I kind of expected.
Here's half of the characters dead in a single scene. What's up? How you doing? It's like a third of the characters.
Yeah, so it was like I kind of low key expected.
Yeah.
Most to no characters would survive just because, like,
okay.
I played Higurashi, right? So
yeah.
I know how
Higurashi had to know.
Yeah. But I do think there was a significant escalation in like the first victim is 6 people at once. That's clearly like, oh, the stakes have been raised compared to Higurashi.
Stakes. I see what you did there.
That's not unintentional, but maybe that's the witch's trick going on.
That witch trick.
Very fun of Battler to shoot himself in the foot, and it was like, damn, I sure wish Beatrice does the murder that a human can do. I think. Have we done like a overall plot summary yet of the event so far? Just like
we did
Sure did. It's on the discussion doc.
Yep, for the episode, not for the tea party or the stuff that came after. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
So I'll leave the tea party for.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. I just realized that we're like well into this, but real quick, favorite character so far?
Jessica. Oh, sorry, you're asking Mel. I'm sorry.
I'm asking. I mean, everybody. Anyone can jump in, but yeah, Mel.
Yeah, Mel. What's your favorite character?
Big fan of George. He's just a guy gets things and that is good. I sort of have a three-way tie right now between Maria, Natsuhi, and Eva. The power trio. Can't get wrong with them.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Natsuhi, but like, holy fuck! Oh my god. Who said it earlier? I saw in the chat on the Discord chat that like someone was saying that it's really fascinating about examining Natsuhi from the angle of she immediately dropped her family and was just all on board with this family. Like,
well, to a certain extent, it's not so much that you drop them as in you're not allowed to be part of their family anymore. But what they were saying was that she doesn't miss them.
right. I guess I wouldn't miss them either if, you know, that whole shit happened and you're just like passed off. That's fucked. But yeah, we'll examine that stuff later.
And she
but
had that whole thing with Kinzo about saying, like, where he was like, oh yes, you have the eagle engraved in your heart. In fact, you're my only real blood relative.
That made me cry. I loved that.
I'm so curious to see more of the dynamic. It's such an interesting way for things to go.
And
I'm gonna be real. I don't think that was Kinzo. I'm honestly not even sure if that actually happened. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, it feels like the heart rip out moment is going to be like, and we can get into this later, and like we were talking about like theories about how certain things were done, but like I do think that hallucinations could be I do think hallucinations are going to be a part of how a lot of what we were told happened in this episode happened.
I think that there was the tea being poisoned was a very pointed thing. I think that they have been drugged.
I think Natsuhi heard exactly what she wanted to hear in a way that's just like, it's so perfect. It reminds me of like imagined conversations that like I've had like for like catharsis purposes.
Was the tea confirmed drugged, or was that like this thing that was discussed?
No, it's just a theory.
Or
no.
just like that theory.
Yeah, because there was that thing that Ava said like early on, like, do you know why it's silver? And it's like, because it changes color if it's poison. And it's just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's specifically in the case of, I believe, it's either arsenic or cyanide.
Also, I think it is interesting that like of the members of the family, the one he likes the most is his not blood relative, who also lasts longest. It does feel interesting that like he likes her the most, but he still upholds the sort of like rules of like, well, you're married into the family, so you're not allowed to wear the crest. But I do like him more than the people who do wear the crest.
And yet the servants have them.
Well,
it's got to feel great for her.
That is
Yeah,
I was also
sussy.
It's also definitely an interesting dynamic with Natsuhi, where like her whole deal of like feeling like she carries like in some ways the burden of like managing the family because Kraus was off doing his own thing. While meanwhile she was not really. It was a thankless job for her because everyone was like disrespecting her because she's just the person who married in, and yet she is like the sole parent left standing by the very, very end. It's interesting to see how that role, especially because like most of the parents die in the first night and then the rest die the second night, and so have her taking it sort of like assuming the role of like everyone's parent by the end is just kind of interesting. And I'll be curious to see where things go in future chapters.
Well, Natsuhi was supposed to die night one or originally, right? Because the only reason she didn't was because she had the scorpion charm on the door. Like,
yeah,
that's what I thought. To me, it felt like the original 6 were going to be all of the parents except for Ava and Hideyoshi, and then one of the servants, and then whatever couldn't get into her room. So one of the other servants was killed, and I don't think these killings were random. I do not believe that there was just a wheel that was spun and whoever it landed on would get killed. No. I simply do not buy that because it is too convenient the order in which people died.
Yeah, it was very particular, very pointed. I think. I also think that it's going to be very interesting going into episode 2 and seeing the order that people die, because Kraus being like specifically being called out as the first in this episode, the one who got killed, even though all of them were like dead in a pile. Why? Like that's interesting to me. Like,
do we want to take this as an opportunity to move theories. I know we have a bunch of characters, but I think we can circle back. We can
sure.
do some theories for
Yeah, let's talk about theories. Okay.
Which did it next?
I just went ahead and put some brief descriptions in the stream chat. We also, of course, have the discussion doc.
Where are we in the? Where's the discussion doc for the theories?
The newbie topics are at the top. Most of them are theory related. I also have some direct questions about certain things at the bottom.
Okay. Well, let's go through all this in order then. Pim.
As much as we're able to, of course. We're 2 hours in already.
Yeah. And I can't go all night, unfortunately. But I mean, it's fucking Umineko. Let's. I'm willing to. Let's go. Like, this is fascinating.
Go!
Pim. What is Battler exactly arguing against? Does he know himself? Oh yeah, and should we talk about the Tea Party?
I think we can't talk about like what is magic without talking about the Tea Party.
This is certainly about that. Like, does Battler does he really know what he's arguing against? I don't really think he does. I think he's so against magic because he feels like he has to be, but I don't think he understands exactly what he's trying to argue. And one of the biggest things with that is, like, he says, well, it's easy, just show me a witch and it'll be and then he's shown a witch and he has to pivot.
But he still hasn't been shown a witch doing the things.
Well, I mean, she did wave a magic wand and show something that happened in the past.
Yeah, but he's dead now. This is
I think the biggest thing with all of this is Battler. He knows that he has to be, like, he knows that he's against what's going on. He hates what's happened to his family, and I think he probably blames this other person. But I don't.
Nope. You cut out. Oh. Oh, Discord took a big dump. Are we still going? Chat, we still live? Okay, I think we're back now.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Beatrice, what did you do?
Oh dear. But essentially, Battler knows that he's against what's going on, but I don't think he quite knows how to point it yet. And he's definitely trying to zero in on it, but I think he's out of his depth, and I think he's starting to realize that.
Should we talk about what happened in the Tea Party and the other stuff? I melted. What?
No, my joke was when everyone disconnected, and then came back. We were off at the Tea Party.
Oh yeah.
And then, but yeah, no. So it's just like, yes, Battler's asking to be shown a witch, but he also remembers dying. So Battler feels like Battler's like, there's no afterlife. This is bullshit, because he's clearly perceiving something. So and I mean, I guess where this could be going is like, this is all in his head. This is like purely his psyche, and George and Jessica aren't really there in any way. They're just different parts of his conflicted emotions, like being personified by his family. But I feel like when he's arguing witches don't exist, like, I think he's making, like, I don't want to say like it's just like this is like purely an anti-occult thing. He thinks that's bullshit, like that he thinks that's bullshit. But like I don't know, because I mean, is Battler one of those atheists, one of those atheist people? Is my ultimate question here. Like, does Battler feel the same way about God that he feels about witches? Because I don't think he does. And I'm interested, and I don't really know where he draws the line.
I think Battler, one of the things that I was feeling during like the Tea Party and the way he was talking, I think he's very reluctant to like believe that things just happen because they happen. like this kind of whole excuse, like, oh, witch did it. That's it. Like, we don't need to think about it any harder. Like, I think that's a good quality to have, where like everyone is, like, I could feel the frustration he was feeling during that tea party of like, everyone is gaslighting me. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, I found that really interesting, and I don't know. I am way more on Battler's side of like wanting to like deny all of this stuff, just because it's like, I don't know. I
Like,
can't
me
quite
too.
nail down why I feel like that though.
Well, because it's more interesting. Because yes, of course, I also completely side with Battler here. Of course, it wasn't a witch, and the reason it's not a witch is if the answer to how did that murder with Ava and Hideyoshi happen? If the answer was just, oh, it was a witch and she used magic spears to go through the doors and just kill them perfectly. And that's the whole answer, that would be dumb. That would be
Oh,
dumb
no.
and not interesting.
So I have a
He's
question
Cinema
for
Sins.
you, Spider-Man, is how did that murder take place then?
I don't know, and if I did know, I'd be a lot smarter.
Battler's Cinema Sins.
Dang. Kate,
no.
did you have a question or a topic, a thing to talk about? Oh no, can you not talk? All right, try talking now.
Okay, thank you. This is actually in regards to the other tea party, the second one with the question marks. This is just a little detail that's not present in the version of the game that you're playing, but on the episode's original release, that actually wasn't unlocked automatically after you complete the first tea party. That was hidden behind a little secret where you have to, using the execute and resurrect feature in the characters menu, put in a chessboard pattern. So that was actually slightly hidden.
Wonder why they opened it up.
It wasn't in any of the subsequent episodes.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was removed because the other ones were deemed too important to hide behind a secret like that.
And also, it's just straight up in an interview they said most people didn't even find it.
Well,
but it's an interesting little bit of world building detail, because I know you've remarked in the past about how there's a similarity to chess within the story, and that's being acknowledged with the characters literally being placed onto a chessboard to unlock that.
Yeah, thank you for telling me that. That's very, that's interesting. I'm picking up a bunch of little things here and there that are they feel like they're the beginnings of something bigger. So yeah, what exactly? Who can tell me what exactly happened? We clicked on we had everybody die, basically. I think there were a couple people who were like lost, but mostly everybody's just like gone. And then suddenly we get tossed into Easter egg jail. Says purpley orange. And what happened? Nothing interesting, right?
Yeah, it was just like a normal, after party, like Hirashi, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
the exact same.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your idea never came to fruition. Would have been nice if it did.
That'd be cool. But yeah, you know who we met though? You know who we met?
Yeah.
Goda.
Met a witch.
Canon.
Oh yeah.
No canon. No.
No way.
Odatrice.
Throw that boy in the trash can. Buttatrice. Toatrice.
God, I was going to say it, but
we met a certified freak 7 days a week, not 5 days a week. She takes the weekends off. Thank you, music, for switching to this.
Quite literally the kind of girl you read about. A million words, even.
Yeah. We met the witch. She was in. She's real. It was very interesting. Everybody in the tea party is basically, you may infer from the stuff that we were just talking about, everybody was like, obviously Battler, witches exist. I don't know why you're trying to deny it. And then he's like, I don't know about all this fucking bullshit. And then Beatrice shows up and says, hey, you might want to consider that. Also, you're looking good. You want to praise my name, and then I'll let you suck my toes, which is just like, okay, ma'am, this boy is like 18 or something. Like,
What's legal age?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. She's actually 1,000,000 years old. So yeah.
Half of 1,000 plus 7.
Probably the most interesting aspect of this was that Battler was maintaining that all of the events that happened in the episode proper were explainable by real world stuff. That it wasn't like all quote unquote magic. And everybody in the Tea Party was like, no, what are you talking about? And then once like Beatrice shows up, everybody starts like re-experiencing their deaths in the most like fucked up way. Like, and we were talking about her, Jessica, like fucking again, just phenomenal acting job, just phenomenal actress. Like she goes for it. Just like, yeah, it was really fucking disturbing. And then, yeah, we're teleported all around by Beatrice from the events, like specifically the event with Hideyoshi and Ava and how they died. And because Battler was like, just throwing it out there. Maybe someone was able to kill them through a crack in the door. And Beatrice is like, oh, bet. And then fucking teleports us to the fucking crack in the door and is like, hey, you can't even see Hideyoshi in the fucking shower. How did that happen? And Battler's like, I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you, Acid Shark, for the raid. What's up? How you doing? We're talking Umineko, FYI. Be careful. We are talking spoilers. If you are interested in Umineko, maybe have a great night. And yeah, just
But also only spoilers for episode 1, so don't spoil anything else in chat. If you do know.
Yes.
By the way, we do have Beatrice's theme in the stream chat, text chat.
Oh yeah? Do we play it? Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
If you play it, she might appear in front of you.
Say her name in front of the bathroom mirror at night.
No, I figured it's like
Tony Todd shows up surprisingly.
Beatrice.
Oh no, she's gonna show up. Oh, I hope she doesn't. She scares me. She's after my toes. So,
your toes and her. Oh, she's into both.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Everyone, have a good night. Have a good discussion.
Yeah. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you.
So yeah, basically we can just cut right to it. Beatrice shows up. She starts fucking around, kills everybody, and then we basically reset, and then we get a bunch of like post texts about everything that happened, or like vague ideas about what happened. I'm not entirely sure. Like I really need to kind of read some of that stuff again, but because it went by very fast. But yeah, and then the after party, the after party, after the tea party, we got a wonderful little visit from a certain someone from a certain other game. And cool. Hell yeah. I love to see Arika. Or as she is being as her name is in this Frederica, right? Berncastle?
Berncastel.
So that, which was, well, I won't say anything further, but very interesting. So apparently Berncastel and Beatrice are witches, and they I believe Berncastel is referred to as like the witch of the shards, the witch of like shards or like
fragments.
I forget the exact.
The witch of not certainty, but
miracles.
Miracles. That's it. Yeah, witch of miracles.
Yeah.
Who traverses the fragments? Yes. By the way, Bob, it looks like the your music stream is just black for us.
Yeah, I hit play on the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was playing it in Discord, so you all would not have heard it. But I played it. for our girl out of in honor, but I switched back to the OGGs from the VLC. The VLC. I'm good at talk. Anyway, so yeah, lot of interesting stuff, but we need to move forward with talking about it. We could literally talk forever about this, but yeah, we got some witches, and they're doing some witchy shit. And honestly,
maybe.
I support them. Like, yeah, it's all good. I
Support witches' wrongs.
But yeah, okay, so now that we know we have the proper context for like what's going on, I think Battler arguing against, yeah, we already did that one. Spider-Man, is Battler an atheist, or does his worldview allow for the existence of divinity in some form? Do you want to elaborate on that, Spider-Man?
I mean, what I was kind of saying, like, I kind of like touched on it because the reason I put it under that point is it's because he accepts that it is George and Jessica he's seeing in the tea party. I think he accepts that, which would, so he doesn't say, wait a minute, none of this is happening, this is all in my head, this is a bunch of bullshit. He accepts Beatrice's challenge as though she's some sort of actual opponent completely separate from his own psyche. And okay, yeah, what exactly, yeah, Jan, that's much more what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like how does she exist, and what is Battler? When Battler says Beatrice doesn't exist, what definition of exist is he using?
Hey, I'll just general note. Could we move some of this conversation to the Twitch chat instead of Discord? Because I feel like we're missing some the VOD, and folks are gonna miss some of this context in there.
Yeah, sorry. I've just been trying to have the administrative comments in here.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting question. I think I don't know. I honestly think that Battler could believe in some form of higher power, but in this specific instance, I feel like he's a good surrogate for the reader, because I think that he for some reason, and I don't know why, but he's not satisfied with magic being the cause of all of this, and I think that's very that's very interesting. I think that he may believe in, witches. I mean, it's hard to when you're talking to one, hard not to when you're talking to one, but yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I get from him.
Why do you think he's being so obstinate in the first place? What's his motive? They're like Spider Bob or anyone.
Spider Bob?
Spider Bob.
I guess, I'm trying to, think of, some, if a bunch of really weird shit happened to me, and then I, died, and it was before, some sort of, high power and the high... I'm like, oh, hey, you do exist, huh? Didn't think that. But then the higher powers was like, oh, all that weird shit that happened? Well, that was me. I did that. And I'd be like, you telling me you directly interfered with my life in the mortal plane? And he'd be like, yep. And I'd be like, no, I think a person did those things. I think that could be explained. Things that have... Okay, this is me thinking out loud. So, Battler believes that things that happen on Earth can be explained through earthly means.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is what I think his distinction is. I think when it comes to whatever sort of afterlife there is, I think he's willing to be like, hey man, I don't know where we go when we die. Nobody really knows.
I also agree. I think that's kind of his MO is he...
Jan, friend's canceled plans. Friend wasn't feeling well. So, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. He believes that what happened on Rokkenjima could be explained by humans.
Yes.
And even no matter what he sees, it's kind of besides the point. And I think he's if I had to guess what he's like exactly arguing against, it's that specifically what happened on Rokinjima, regardless of the fact that maybe witches exist, maybe they don't, but on Earth, and especially in that small sliver of time, it was humans.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Mel. Mel. The victim's sins. So the thing that we learned when Beatrice shows up at the tea party and we get teleported is that, well, I mean, we've been seeing the rods, or like what are they described as? Like some kind stakes. Sorry, there's a
ice pecks. Specifically ice pecks.
Doing a cat impression. There was a like piece of fuzz floating around. I'm like pawing at it.
In the translation you're doing, Bob, it's ice picks. I don't know if it's yeah.
So they're kind of I would call them like stakes, like that kind of that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from them. But yeah,
I imagine stakes is wooden, but
well, anyway. So Mel has listed all of the whatever we want to call them ice picks. Here, Ava is Asmodeus. Lust is the one that she was killed with. Hideyoshi is.
I was just gonna say, each of the like demons associated with a stake is also associated with a specific sin.
Yeah.
In like, I guess like.
Oh, trust
theology,
me. I've played Diablo.
This is just for like other people in the audience who might not know.
Yeah. There's no Mephisto, which kind of sucks. He has really good drops.
Hate that guy.
Meph runs. Oh, Diablo 2 heads. Anyway, Hideyoshi, Beelzebub, Gluttony, Kinzo, Mammon, Greed, Canon, Satan, Wrath, Genji, Lucifer, Pride, Nanjo, Belphegor, Sloth,
rated with 4 viewers,
and Kumasawa, Leviathan, Envy. Meowtroid, what's up? FYI, we are talking Umineko. We are deep into spoilers for the first episode, so just FYI, be careful. If you don't want to get spoiled, I would head out, and thank you for hanging out. And but yeah, we're gonna keep going. Always love to see you, Meowtroid.
Oh, thank just rated with 8 viewers.
Oh, thank just rated. Oh, thank. NK, thank you so much. Hi, I hope y'all are doing well. Excited to play Final Fantasy tomorrow with you. But just FYI, talking Umineko spoilers again. Be very careful if you have any interest in playing. We're very early on, so I don't know. If it sounds like your cup of tea, definitely pick it up. We're having a great time, but we are in spoiler time. So
yeah, we've just finished episode 1, and
Yeah.
Bob and several others are only that far, so he doesn't know yet.
Yeah. I have ideas, but I do not.
Does he know? No.
Does he know? No. I have no clue.
He knows.
So yeah, I'm not sure, Mel. I don't know if you wanted to talk more about why you posted the exact things that you did for this, for all of the ice picks that were used.
I don't know to what degree we can talk about it in depth. Some of them I think may be more obvious than others, and I think in the tea party, Beatrice even says, "Oh yeah, Ken, and you committed the sin of wrath, and that's why you got stabbed in the gut with this one." But I think it's just interesting I think to like highlight and keep in mind maybe going forward, just like, oh, these are the sins that were associated with these characters.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think with like
no, that's a good pin to put in that. Yeah.
With some of them like Kumasawa and Genji, I'm like, I don't know what this could mean.
Kinzo was obvious. Like
I
almost.
mean, not Kinzo. I meant Genji and Kinzo. Yeah.
No.
I just put the end roll credits descriptions into the stream chat if you'd like to look at them.
Nice. Meowtroid Bob still needs to tell me how that Goosebumps book ended. Oh, you want me to tell you right now? It's fucking. It's terrible. the fucking okay. So we recorded "You Can't Scare Me" on Sunday, and on Saturday, Meowtroid and I drove to what was it, North Carolina, and we were listening. I was doing my Goosebumps homework on the way, and so we were listening to fucking this awful, the sequel to the what was it called? The Mummy.
The Mummy.
It's the second Mummy book. This one's like the first one was like the Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
And this one is like the Mummy, the Return of the Mummy. And so the way that it ends is stupid. It's the same fucking book, dude. It's the same thing. We were all pissed off. It's like right now we're like regarding R.L. Stein, we're like he can't keep getting away with it. But like, yeah, the way that it ended is, you remember the lady that was really highly suspicious who showed up randomly halfway through the fucking story? Yeah, it turns out she was the bad guy and wanted to resurrect a singular mummy. Anyway, we don't have to talk about this. just wait. We'll talk about it. We can talk about it tomorrow if you want. But yeah, that's a little hint of what's to come. It's fucking terrible. It's not the worst. It's pretty bad. The fact that he made us read one of the worst Goosebumps books twice. Nothing made me lose respect more for R.L. Stein than actually reading the books that he wrote. Anyway, okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. End credits. What did we want to talk about next? End credits or?
Well, you could get into that, but also considering where we're at on time, more important might be discussing theoretically how it could have been done without magic, because that is a very broad and big topic.
I mean, if we want to just jump right into it and everybody can kind of react to how I'm thinking.
Actually, let me rephrase that question a bit. I want your theories on each murder. How it was done.
How it was done?
How it was done.
Every murder? Yeah, I don't really remember a lot of the specifics of them. I mean, in terms of how it was done, obviously, some people got staked in the face, but that's another aspect of this where it's like, I don't know. I really agree with what we were talking about earlier, that like, I think they're drugged. I think that people, like some people are drugged more than others, and that's another thing I want to examine later, like who drank what. And the fact that they were worried about eating like the unpackaged food, like they were like making their own food, like, or they were like they were worried about people like putting stuff in their food, or like poison and stuff like that. I think that's fascinating. Like,
yeah, who was it that said, "Hey guys, we should probably start eating canned food"?
Well, I think it was Kumasawa who floated the idea, because she made food and then no one was eating it, and then she had the idea to like, well, if you want to, like, I want to make sure you guys eat, so take some of the canned food, and then you can just eat that. If I remember correctly, I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
Just to briefly touch on each murder, 6 were killed in the shed. It was locked, and the key was placed back in where they think it was placed back to the original location. Ava and her husband died in a room with the chain lock still in place. Yeah, Kinzo was found in the boiler. Cannon was also found in the boiler.
Okay. The Kinzo being in the boiler thing, I don't buy it. Like, I don't, like, there was too much attention placed on, like, yes, he did have an extra toe, but like, that's a genetic thing. I don't think that, we don't know how many toes, for example, Krauss had. So
lots of people got extra toes.
So yeah,
we don't know.
But in terms of like how a lot of that stuff happened, I feel like that's one of the really cool things about Battler right now, is that like you can have a hunch, you can have an idea, but not necessarily have like all of the evidence to back it up. But you just have, like, I'm with Battler. I have an inkling that like this can be explained, and if we examine it from the right angle, I think it'll all make sense. But in terms of like, I mean, I already floated an idea for just to throw it out there. Ava and I keep wanting to say Hideyoshi. Why does she have her shoes on? Like, that's such a strange thing. And that's the other aspect of that murder in particular. George ran up to Ava immediately without giving Nanjo time to examine the body. The only person that Nanjo examined was Hideyoshi. And he said that he could be dead, maybe. There's an aspect of this where it's like, I can see Ava and Hideyoshi being like partners in crime and pulling it. Basically, that's the other aspect of this. I think George is in on it. Like there are a bunch of different ways that you could like look at it, but George is highly suspicious. Like him running up to his mom and immediately like covering her, and then I forget whose idea it was. It might have been Natsuhi or maybe Nanjo, for them to be like, "Oh, we shouldn't mess with the crime scene. We gotta get out of here." It's like
for that George point. What would in your suspicious mind? What would George have done in that brief moment of time?
Yo, Beef, what's up? Thanks for the raid. Hey, FYI, everybody who's coming in here, hi, welcome. We are talking Umineko. Umineko spoilers for episode 1. So if you are interested in playing Umineko by yourself, please, leave a follow on the way out. But yeah, I would be very careful. We're not very far in. We just finished the first episode. So, yeah, it's up to you if you want to keep sticking around. I know that sometimes I listen to, or I got spoiled on stuff and then immediately was like, I need to play this. So I don't know. It's up to you. Yeah. Dial, thank you so much for.
But slightly tipsy.
Not high, but slightly tipsy. Okay. Sounds good, Dial. Thank you so much for the 59 months. I salute you, sir. But yeah, in terms of like the way that, okay, talking spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In terms of the way that they could have been got, like, I'm not entirely sure that Ava is dead. Maybe Hideyoshi is dead too. Maybe it's the other way around. But the fact that that family did not suffer any like casualties, like that particular like branch of the family had no casualties, is fucking suspicious as hell. Like,
okay, follow-up question for you, Bob.
Yes.
If Ava's still alive, who drew the sigil on the door?
If Ava is still alive, who drew the sigil on the door?
Yeah, because she would have to be pretending to be dead.
Yes.
So the chain lock is on.
Outside the room.
I'm confused. Wouldn't it be simply just opening up the door and drawing it on there? Like, in my opinion, that's the most plausible thing. Actually, because literally they're just there. They're not making any sound. Everybody leaves. They're waiting for them to leave. They rush out there, draw the sigil on, run in, close the door, and then get in position. The Hideyoshi death is really interesting to me, though, because, like, that isn't... Okay. Bro died in the most awkward fucking position. But him dying in the bathroom, in the tub, taking a shower with the shower still on, that makes me think he actually got and potentially by Ava. Like, I don't, either that or he's a really good actor and he
what would be Ava's motive to kill her own husband? I mean, that's pretty brutal.
I mean, there are a bunch of different ways you could look at it. I mean, her sin is lust. Maybe she found someone else.
Maybe she found out he found someone else.
True. Yeah, there are a
guess-
bunch of angles that you could go with that one. I mean, obviously, the biggest one is like angling for the gold and a bigger share of it.
Yeah, newbies. What else do you think about this scene? Like Mel
Also-
and others. Sorry to control your stream. My bad.
No, it's all good. The other aspect of it is if Hideyoshi is gone, then he has no claim to the gold. And I'm sure that there is some aspect of ownership or like the way that the family works that Hideyoshi being the man in this situation would maybe afford him more rights that would be problematic for Ava. So I don't know.
He was also adopted in, so there's that.
Yeah, so I don't know. It really seems like for Hideyoshi and Ava, I don't know. I don't know. I need to know more about their relationship, but they felt more like partners in crime, like their kind of whole shtick. But they also, in that way, felt like they're of all of the other family members, they're probably the ones who would backstab each other, like more viciously than the other ones. But I don't know. Definitely more so than Natsuhi, but I don't know about Kraus. Kraus would probably be. Actually, I don't know. I didn't really get that much of Kraus. I kind of like Kraus, but he's like fun to hate. But like, I don't know. I could see him being like maybe a I don't know. I need more from him. Anyway,
the thing with Kraus is that he shows up for like maybe 1 or 2 scenes and like aura farms, and then he goes and dies. So we basically don't know him. So
okay.
Shows up and he's a shithead to his siblings. He's the shithead older brother.
Yeah. AKA me.
Yeah.
But,
as far as like the was it the murder of like Ava and Hideyoshi? Because like with the shed, even though there's that lock and the key and everything, it is very. It's not hard to imagine how that could have been done. Because it's very much like, yeah, it could just be like they got drugged and then they got taken over, and maybe the drug or some other, maybe like a second poison or something, like that killed them, and then they got their faces smashed in by, like, I don't know, like a rock. It could be anything.
That's another thing.
Yeah, with
about
Ava
this.
and
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, with them, like it's very much that thing of like, if I'm looking, I might be looking too much into the like little room diagram that flashes when they were showing the door chain. But it's like you could feasibly maybe like aim something into the bathroom to get Hideyoshi if the door was open. But I don't know how you could get anything to hit Ava without like bouncing off a wall or being in the room. So it is that thing of like, at this point, because I am very much in that thing, like, yeah, magic's real until they prove it's not. I'm very much like, yeah, no, Beatrice did it with her funny stakes that made the funny noise, and had the laugh and everything. So I just see them like doing that.
I have a theory. Whoever did it killed them, then had the chain off the door, left the room with the door a little bit ajar, and then used a magnet to put the chain back into place. Is this feasible? Is this possible?
Maybe. I think it is also like, I'd have to actually see the door itself to say for sure whether this is doable, but like you could, if your arm is like thin enough and you're flexible, you could like undo and redo a chain, if I'm picturing it correctly.
Yeah.
Like you could just reach in there, take it off, get in, leave, and then redo it from the other side.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times stories like this don't account for that, though. I'd be surprised if that were the case. Like, someone like Maria could reach in. Not saying this is her, but she would be small enough to be able, not tall enough, but small enough to have her hand go in and then grab the little chain and like push it off or push it back on. But again, like that whole situation screamed to me of like Jan's asking about fake deaths. I think Ava's alive. In that instance, I think that Ava's still alive. Like the fact that George prevented Nanjo from even commenting on her body before they locked down the room. The fact that like she had her fucking shoes on and her clothes, even though like here's a perfect thing. This is okay. I'm going full bobbler. Like we're fucking doing it. I don't have all of the like facts. I don't have all of the evidence, but I am just like Battler when I look at this shit and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. They just had sex. He went into the shower to take a shower after sex. Ava has all of her clothes on and her shoes and was killed on the bed? I don't buy it, dog. I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. I don't fucking buy it. No.
Beatrice likes toes, Hideyoshi likes shoes.
Listen, I know if I commit a murder and the person's naked, I will put their clothes back on.
And Ryukishi likes hooves.
Despite her sin of lust, Ava is in fact a never nude.
That's her real struggle.
So here's what I'm saying probably happened. Ava faked her death, and I think that George was in on it. I don't know if Hideyoshi faked his death. He may actually be dead. But at the very least, like, that's the other aspect of this is like, I think George knows. Wait a minute. Who's the person who would benefit if all of the... That could be how Ava gets around the issue of Hideyoshi, because then George could inherit it. George, by default, becomes the sort of head of the family.
Just to chime in here real quick. Hideyoshi is like part of the family register, but I don't think I don't think he's like an actual like direct what's the word? He wouldn't directly get the inheritance.
Yeah, I think iCat's saying that he's not Hideyoshi. I think iCat's saying that he's not eligible for the inheritance.
Yeah, it would be first of kin. So if Kraus is dead, it would go to Jessica? Right?
Yeah, I believe it's like that kind of medieval primogeniture, however the fuck you pronounce it, type of thing, like
progenitor?
eldest child of the eldest child type inheritance stuff.
Yes, so it would be Kraus, then Jessica, followed by Ava, and then George.
I think when the question comes up, like, you know, how could they benefit, and you know, why would they do this? And I think the answer, and if we're talking about anybody here, this is applicable. Like, more than anything, they all needed a lot of money right now.
Yeah,
I think anyone could have been involved in this, honestly. And as much as we know these characters, you know, and we like them, I don't think assuming that they're acting in everyone's best interests is something you can assume at all. I think they all could have been bribed.
To add a wrinkle to that, I think that one of the things that makes this difficult to analyze is, and one of the reasons why other Ryukishi stories are a little bit more like mysterious, is because there are a lot of times many moving pieces, and you shouldn't look at this story in terms of like a singular killer. I think that there are multiple people with various motivations for doing what they're doing.
Shit. Okay, so like that. So remember how Ava's talking about how chessboard theory is limited because you know it's just game theory, like you know, simplified. So the issue the thing about chess is it's two players. This is not a two-player game. This is an 18-player game. And
I mentioned that
yeah, and-
like early on that like every person is like a piece on the chessboard.
Well, I mean, in chess, like the pieces, there's white pieces and there's black pieces, and it is two sides. And what I'm proposing is that, like, it is possible that every adult, or let's simplify it a bit, every adult couple, came to that island with a plan to be the last one standing when the weekend was over. I think it's possible that Kirei and Rudolph had a plan, and that Ava and Iniyoshi had a plan, and that Kraus and Natsui had a plan, and then all three of those plans went to hell as they collided and overlapped.
I think that there's definitely, I think that that's what we're going to see eventually. I also think that there's a lot going on, and I think that what's that?
I guess to me, I would not be surprised if one of the 6 people found in the shed was murdered by one of the other 6 people in the shed.
I mean, yeah. I would also say that, to add on to that, I would think that Shannon wasn't supposed to be there. Shannon saw something she wasn't meant to see. And I think that it was very telling, Ava and George's reaction. I think that Ava knew way more than she was letting on. I think that that's one of the reasons why she wanted to protect George from... I think that she also had ulterior motives in terms of like preventing him from... Because his reaction to her death was more like, I don't know. It's like, oh, that didn't need to happen. Also, can we examine, like... George proposing. Why then? Why now? It's like he knew that something was going to happen. Which made it even more devastating when she was killed. Because the way that he reacted to her death was sad, but I don't know, I got more of like he wasn't so much sad as he was disappointed.
I don't know, Bob. If you proposed to someone and they died the next morning, how wouldn't you want to know if they accepted the ring or not?
Honestly, that would be the last thing from my fucking mind. Like,
yeah,
it'd be cool if, or not cool. It would be. I don't even know what the word would be. It wouldn't even clock to me to look at the fucking like ring. Like, yeah, someone's in chat said it earlier. It's like, oh, cool, I get to own you after you're dead. It's like, what? No. That's me reacting to George thing, not that comment.
It's.
Okay, I mean, why are we talking about race war in the fucking stream chat?
Unclear why iCat did that.
Chess, white pieces, black pieces.
I can't explain.
My bad. Sorry.
So Spider-Man went white pieces versus black pieces, and I was just like, oh yeah, the race war.
All right.
Race the checkmate. Yeah.
And could we? Who was talking just then? What's their name?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What?
Look at iCat's name.
Fucking name. It got me like a half hour ago.
This is
Yeah,
this is a
it's been that way
serious
for a bit.
conversation, and you're over here screaming for witch pussy. This is
It's
That's
a serious
Umineko.
scream for witch pussy.
Yeah, it's cats. They want
can't-
cats.
I
They want
can't.
witch cats.
I can't believe you've done this. Anyway, maybe we've been talking too much about this, and I have been talking too much. Let's move on to something else. Pim? For a non-magic theory to work, it would need to not just explain the murders, but all of elements of the entire event.
Yeah. So, in the next little point there, I list off a few. I think what's interesting about a non-magic theory is not necessarily how were the murders done, but like there are a lot of things going on in this story, and like the gold, right? Like that is the one that is focused on a lot at the beginning. Like, how could it be real if it is real? How could that one gold bar that was shown, like, does that confirm that it's real? There's a lot of kind of question marks there, and it kind of prompts you to think, like, okay, like, is there any way that this could like be legitimate?
No.
The gold is a fair enough. The
It's
gold
fake.
is a big one.
He had one
the
gold
missing
bar. The fact, like, this is the same. It's the same issue with like Beatrice. If Beatrice was actually real and like running around killing people, you would think that they would be killed in much more fantastical ways. Battler even calls it out at a certain point. It's like, okay, if the witch is real, kill someone in a crazy way that no one could do. And it's like, okay, you killed some people in an interesting way, but it's very explainable. Like, there are so many avenues that could work for like how Hideyoshi and Eva like died. And like, when I think of a witch like killing somebody, it's like, oh, okay, you float up in the middle of a crowd of people and then get like impaled by like a million fucking spears or some shit. It's like crazy shit. A spontaneous human combustion, you know, like fucking like looking at something insane happening and being like, oh, there is literally no explanation for this. And really, it's just a closed door fucking mystery with a couple pretty obvious like avenues of explanation. I don't fucking buy it. And in the same way,
do you want her to have like an anime battle? Is that what you're asking?
no. It's just
Maybe.
that if it's magical, then it should be magical, because it's not magical.
What kind of magical death do you envision that could prove a witch?
I mean, I gave a couple examples already.
Okay, sorry, I was eating chips and
Goodness.
Ice
I think-
magics.
I
Fire
think
magics.
it'd be interesting. I have no idea where this is gonna go, and I have no guesses for how these murders were done. But I think it'd be interesting and funny if the direction is yes, wishes are real, but all the murders were still mundane.
I think that's the way that it's gonna go. If I'm being honest.
That feels like the very when they cry move to do.
Yeah. Because I'm not gonna say anything.
I
Yeah.
also just want to note that my experience reading this was definitely like, oh, when's Beatrice gonna show up? And then like by the time it was like closing in the final chapters, I was like, she's not gonna show up until like either the next chapter or in the tea party or something. And that's what happened. I was like, this is a funny troll.
I will also say she shows up in the fucking tea party, the part of the story that's obviously like taking place in a separate reality or like some
It's a
kind
purgatory.
of purgatory / like mental palace or like something that isn't reality. And she shows up there. Okay, dude. All right.
You had that theory earlier about it being like after the fact reframing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was more in terms of like I'm envisioning Battler as an old man, kind of still grappling with the events of what happened here. Much like you know, trauma gets trapped in the body in a way that prevents that has a way of resurfacing. And I mean, it doesn't even have to really be trauma. It could be just like memories in general. But in this specific case, I think there was obviously a lot of trauma associated with the events of what happened here. And I think that there is an avenue of interpretation where it's like, okay, this is Battler imagining himself and the events and trying to explain it to himself, like, and trying to like examine the story in the Tea Party, it like resurrecting all of these people in his mind to have a conversation about what happened to who and why, and sort of examine it from that angle. He doesn't even have to be an old man. It's just like older, you know. I think that him sort of like examining it from every avenue is what's happening here. I think that Beatrice represents a part of Battler's mind that is okay with a fantastical explanation, is okay with magic having done it. But I think that deep down Battler is deeply unsatisfied with that. I think that deep down Battler is battling his psyche.
He battles all over the place.
I'll log off. Yeah, he's battling all over. But yes,
And
does that make sense?
That's why he has such crazy. Yes, it does make sense. And as a bit, that's why he has such crazy sexual tension with her, because it's himself.
Yeah, it's like the part of him that's willing to accept like a, you know, a magical answer, and also likes toes for some reason.
For some reason, yeah.
By the way, Bob, I just wanted to check in. How do you feel about the time we're at right now?
We got to keep going. We just need to push a little bit quicker. I am fading, but
okay. While we're still here, I wanted to ask, what do you all see in mind? What do you have in mind for episode 2?
I guess I can go first. If
Go.
anyone else wants. I feel like Beatrice will be actually in the story, unlike in this one where she was mostly a tease.
Agree.
In what way? I'm not sure. Like, it'd be weird if she just rocked up to Rock and Gmail like, "Hey, I'm also here now," as just like one of the members of the family pretending to fit in or something. But like maybe we'll have like one of those. Maybe we'll have like a more in and out, sort of like almost like a Battler goes to the Wish Dimension to like battle Witzer in between scenes or something. I don't know. I'm not really entirely sure to what degree her presence will be quote unquote physical versus like mental, but I'm curious to see where it goes.
yeah, I'm curious what role Bern Castell is going to have versus Beatrice, because I agree. I think that she's going to pop up, but I don't know. Is she going to be more of like a, like, here's how it would be explained. Here's how the events of the story would be explained if like Bern Castell took like more of a direct, because that's what one of the things that was said is like, oh yeah, that's the thing that I forgot to say earlier. I really like the angle of presenting this game as like we are not the main character, that it's Beatrice who's playing us. And so it's really her, like, you know, her, like, she's speed running. I think that episode 2 is going to be a Beatrice speed run any percent. And I think that, you know, we are going to be that Battler and everybody else are going to get got pretty quickly. I'm really interested in seeing how things change. But yeah, I think that again, this kind of interfaces with what I was saying before of like, I think that this is really a mental exercise for Battler to like examine everything like another time through and kind of like imagine different situations of how things would, you know, if X person did this, then Y person would potentially do this. And yeah, I think that that's what's going to happen. I think Bern Castell is going to facilitate that. I think it's very much going to be like Bern Castell is helping us out, but not really like directly stating how she's helping us out. But then, yeah, Beatrice is going to be the major antagonist, and the main character. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was just wondering because it was mentioned earlier in the stream. Are we going to have an end of segment like Higurashi spoilers?
Yeah.
For a certain.
Yeah. We could do that.
Yeah.
It's very appropriate for this chapter, or for this episode.
Is it time for us to Phyto on, as it were?
Did anyone else want to? I want to make sure that everyone is able to speak. Does everyone feel like they said their piece?
I'll say just one more thing. Of course, the gold. I brought that up.
Yep.
But the other mystery that I think is separate from the murders, but quite interesting to think about, is how did everyone die, right? Because we ran out of time in the Which One, but like, how the hell would that be explained without magic?
Yeah, the ticking.
Everyone, to speak to that a little, like, how did everyone die? As in, like, how was it everybody died, as opposed to just like how is there like no survivor, right?
Yep, exactly.
In the end crawl, it does just say missing on the 10th Twilight,
Yeah.
as opposed to the others.
Mm-hmm.
And
the only one who's like in question for that is like Maria,
because of her jawbone. That's right.
Yeah. Did Sorry, I'll read this. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I had a note in regards to that because I was like going forward. I put it in as like what I expect to see coming into the next episode is kind of maybe hinting or maybe bringing more to light that segment, because a lot of it, including the profiles, the segments where they had kind of like Maria's notes, like we later discover that. I'm wondering if maybe that'll help uncover why in that case that came up that way, because it's almost making me kind of almost question the narrative a little bit. Like, I don't know if that's the wrong way of thinking it, but that's kind of like, kind of noticing those little strings. I'm wondering if that's going to be maybe later unfolded as part of the mystery as well.
Yeah.
But that was just my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely like I would not discount like an unreliable narrator aspect to this, especially when it comes to like the idea that potentially being everybody being drugged and like seeing things that potentially aren't there or are enhanced in some way. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah.
What if the all of Umineko is just one big advertisement for carbon monoxide detectors?
See, that, not the carbon monoxide, but like that sort of sentiment of, I think that is an interesting avenue to examine the story with, because of the ticking clock, the literal ticking clock. Like, I think that there is that ticking clock element. And I think that the witch will win at in the end, because something like either like there's potentially being a gas like pumped in, like maybe everybody's been poisoned in such a way where they will eventually like succumb. There's something like that aspect of it is very heightened with, especially when the first Twilight, second Twilight, all that stuff. Also, what does that mean? Like the first Twilight? At first I thought it was like the first day, but then like everybody like dies like toward the end, basically at the same time. And it's like Kumasawa 8th Twilight, Canon 5th Twilight, Genji 6th.
I mean, these are on
7th.
The poem, the riddle, the epitaph.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like, how is this part of the Twilight?
I see.
Does
You're
that just
questioning
mean
the
like
word choice?
Yeah, because at first I thought Twilight, moon, that would be like basically saying on this night or on and then the next night. But what I'm saying is that doesn't really work, because they all died basically instantly at the end. So like,
yeah, because it's like
8th, 9th.
Six people died the first night, and the second night, everyone else died in really quick succession. So it's like, well,
Yeah, so
most of the Twilights are the same night, kind of thing.
Yeah, so like, what does Twilight mean in that context? What's that?
Just to be fair here, only Maria's technically confirmed dead with the jawbone. The others are just, MIA, as far as you know.
Yeah. God.
Could Twilight just like metaphorically mean like event of death, like the twilight of life or whatever?
Yeah, it might be also. Well, I'd have to play it again, but like hour. I don't know.
I mean, I mean, Twilight is like referred to by some as like the golden hour, and Beatrice is the golden witch. Is that anything? I don't know.
Maybe. It's worth examining.
I also noticed that the order of the Twilight is suspicious, especially when it comes to what happened around Ava and Hideyoshi, as we talked about before, because the first Twilight was the sixth. The second Twilight was supposed to be those who remain will tear apart the two that are close, and then I think third Twilight was the pierce the head and kill. But Ava and Hideyoshi were taken out by stakes to the head, and it wasn't really those who remained as any kind of group uh, tearing apart the two that are close. So, for something that's supposed to be following the 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 course laid out in the epitaph, it kind of does, but it kind of isn't either.
Just to cut in there, the third Twilight is just praising the noble name, the
Oh,
gouging
that's right.
starts on the
That's right.
fourth.
Praise her name. Yes.
Yeah. We'll keep examining that one, I
and
guess.
After that point, it gets very direct about just gouge this part and kill, gouge this part and kill, up until the ninth when the witch revives.
I feel like another aspect of this is like, okay, let's say that it's magic. Why would Beatrice care if they called out from the island? Like, why would she give a shit about more people showing up? She could just fuck with them too. You would imagine that a witch would have fun fucking with a bunch of people instead of like. But then again, I don't know. Maybe she has more fun with these specific pieces. But
what's the game, right?
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is like,
Well,
okay, this might be a leap, but I think someone cut the fucking phone line and prevented them from calling out.
Sure.
I don't think that was the I want to say tsunami, but I think that's wrong. What was it? What was the
typhoon?
Typhoon. Yeah. So like,
yeah. What was it? Kinzo kept saying just like, "Oh, I promised like, oh, like the letter said like, oh yeah, Beatrice has promised the Ushima family fortune."
I think Kinzo
and
said,
all that has come. And all that has come from it as interest, and the interest is their lives. The interest is the lives of because Kinzo's wealth is what is, made that family. And if the wealth came from Beatrice, then Beatrice is entitled to those lives. And so I think bringing in outside people, I don't think that would be part of the game as it has been agreed to in the contract. Someone, I forget who, like I think it was in a Twitch comment, like I think it was like in the Twitch chat. Beatrice is like a fae. Like I get more of a fae vibe from her than just like a witch who wants to fuck some shit up. Like she abides by rules of contract and deals.
And there's also a thing where even if we're taking Battler's course and saying that everything is natural, And even if there's a 19th or more people, that it's not Beatrice the witch, it's somebody else. That somebody else is going to a great deal of trouble to frame everything as magic, which means that for that purpose they have to obey the rules of magic to the maximum extent possible. And that for Battler, a way to catch someone, like if a mortal normal person going to all of this theatrical presentation for whatever reason, one of the ways that he could catch them is if he catches them breaking the rules of magic or the epitaph in some way.
I'm just throwing it out there. Is it possible that in the same way, and we can examine this as a metaphor later, but in some way, I'm kind of examining the sort of magical aspect of this and viewing Beatrice as maybe not so much a fae, but more like a demon. Because demons, like, you know, GXU says fae and demons are heavily associated with contracts, and demons are way more prominent in this story, especially with the stakes. The thing for me, though, is did Kinzo make a contract with a demon and also all of his kids did as well? Is that why Ava has the stake of Asmodeus in her head? Is because of a contract she made with Lust? For Asmodeus and Hideyoshi made a contract with Beelzebub? Kinzo, Mammon, etc., etc. Like, I don't think that there's necessarily. Well, I don't know. I'm just like farting out my butthole. But like, I don't know.
Well,
It's an interesting idea.
If I may, there's that bit that Kinzo said at the start. The power of magic is always determined by the risk staked upon it. Cutting forward a little bit, the magic power dwells in incurring the risk that it will be seen before 7 days pass. The more dangerous the risk, that's talking about Japanese curse. The more dangerous the risk, the stronger the magic will be. After all, Moses was able to magnificently summon a miracle engraved on but one of the countless innumerable results of the roulette with those with power. This is the force that can triumph over astronomical odds. Good fortune that can grasp miracles is magical power itself. One must face the risk of despair. Those who possess no magical power may call that desperation rather than a bet.
I feel like I need to read that again.
Also,
but,
just as a small aside, when Maria was reading the letter, Beatrice in the letter firmly states that like she's also taking the rest of the family as interest. So
what? The what?
Let me read. I, Beatrice, lend Kinzo a vast quantity of gold under certain terms. One of these terms specifies all the gold is to be returned to me upon the termination of the contract. Furthermore, I am to receive everything of the Ashuramiya family as interest.
Does the contract... Sorry, I'm like thinking out loud. Does the epitaph say specifically, is that where it says like the stuff about the Twilights, or?
Yeah, the witch's epitaph is the thing that lists what the Twilights are.
Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe did all of the kids make a contract with Beatrice?
I think so.
I don't think some of the kids even knew who Beatrice was.
Kinzo made a contract with Beatrice, and his kids are the interest.
If anyone is going to be a reliable narrator, I think it's the kids. So I'm not certain that is what's
George,
going on.
So
no, maybe not George, but even then, maybe George more than some of the adults.
Are you saying that we shouldn't take with 100% certainty the ramblings and rantings and ravings of a man who's been hotboxing absinthe in his room for a year at this point?
Since it came up,
Let's
since
not
it
get
came
carried
up,
away here.
Since it came up, I do want to bring this up. Despite its reputation, absinthe is actually not a hallucinogen. Alcohol withdrawal can cause hallucinations, but
What
in
is
terms of
absinthe?
it's a form of alcohol. It's a type of alcohol.
Is that it? I thought it was laced
Yes.
with something.
No.
No.
Like people say, like the wormwood
It's just
causes
a funny color.
hallucination, but that's not true.
Woo! 45 to 75%?
It's
It's strong.
Yo!
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they have to serve it over sugar, because it tastes like shit, I assume.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Big drink
Yeah,
of the Impressionists.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wiki for absinthe, and there's a picture, an absinthe frappe.
Hmm.
It actually looks scrumptious.
I mean, I'd try it.
I've
Yeah.
had absinthe. It was good.
Oh, I
It
can't.
Do you
was
think they have that
enjoyable.
at the Rokenjima Starbucks?
I don't know. You know how much they charge?
A gold bar.
But
In gold bars, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but you know what could be
Hi.
hallucinogenic
Thanks for the
is
follow,
a
Lambda.
gas leak in a boiler room.
What is it with boilers? What is it with stories? That's the real connective tissue between Ryakishi and Silent Hill.
Boiler theory real.
Magic power?
Fucking boilers.
Wrong.
Can't believe it.
Gas leak.
After all these years.
Gas leak. All right. I think we've talked plenty about this.
Yeah, we've hit the 3-hour mark here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of crashing.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure we get through. Like we've got a lot of topics. I just want to make sure that we're hitting all of these things.
Oh, no, plenty of these will come back. If we're
Okay.
at the end, we're at the end. It is absolutely fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been skirting in and out of a good bunch of these topics, so it's
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
The only thing I'd maybe be interested in, just really quick, hearing your thoughts on witches in general, and maybe why Burned Castell is also a witch.
Yeah, we can hit that as our last one, maybe.
Yeah, the Higurashi stuff should be our last thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do we want to use this as a way of going into
Absolutely.
Higurashi?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about Higurashi spoilers now. So please, if you have not experienced Higurashi, go ahead and call it. And I hope you have a great night. And we'll see you on the next one.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Good night.
Thank you for being with us.
All right, we're going to talk about Higurashi spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The
Rika has a
seal is
tail. What?
broken.
Why does she have a fucking tail? Also, did she quit wine? That's I don't know. I don't know about that one. So, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Within the story of Umineko, Higurashi, like Battler specifically calls out Higurashi, like Nonaku Korone, like in the story. And I think that that's an interesting wrinkle to this, because I think that also influences his interpretation of Rika.
Real quick, Bob, you were disconnected from us for a bit.
Oh,
We
fuck.
didn't hear any of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
The little last thing you said was,
What is going on with Discord? Discord
It's a
is
witch, I'm telling
shitting
you.
the bed. Anyway, yeah, there's probably a witch. I don't know. Okay, I'll say it again. Basically, Higurashi no Naku Koroni is in the world of Umineko. It exists. Battler specifically calls it out. And that makes me very interested in a potential read of that's why Rika has a tail. It's because that's Battler's interpretation of Rika. Battler is being influenced by the story of of Higurashi to potentially sort of view the happenstances of his life and examine them in a way that kind of happened in Higurashi a little bit. I don't know. I'm just farting that out there. I really don't know. But in terms of, go ahead.
Relevant to that, and of course, considering the totality of Higurashi in play here, I was wondering if maybe your theory about a mundane distortion is affected by the way that Hinamizawa syndrome functions. Like, is that laying the groundwork for you, do you think?
And, could you say that again?
I was thinking about how your idea of a mundane distortion, about like, oh, this isn't happening because they're drugged or something like that.
Right.
Do you think that you're being set up by Hinamizawa syndrome in that way?
I don't...
Because in that case, there still were fantastical elements, but it was something mundane at the same time.
I will say that, okay, since we're talking spoilers, I think that in a lot of ways Umineko is a sort of reaction to Higurashi's reception. And I remember when we were talking about Higurashi, one of the things that I found fell a little flat was the idea that everything in Higurashi was like magical. Like there was a magical element to it, but also a real element. And combining both of those in an interesting way was cool. But at the same time, like the magical stuff kind of, I don't know, it kind of made me a little disappointed. I grew to like it. I really did grow to like it. But in the moment, and I could imagine Ryakishi reacting to that in a way that creates a story like Umineko, where it's like, okay, the fantasy elements, the sort of magic, is used to like help you understand life in the real world and like examining it from multiple from angles. And like I wouldn't put it past Ryakishi to tell basically the same story again, but or not the same story, but the same way of
explaining things.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, because like Higurashi had like that mix of like magic and realist. I mean, real. Let's say that you know, that some people got complaints about. I know that I had like a complaint or so. So
it
like
breaks a number of mystery rules while technically following them in some other ways.
So like going to this one, and where you have like at the very end of this chapter, someone going like, "Oh, so you don't believe in magic, huh? Well, prove it." So now you have like magic and reality clashing actively, as opposed in Higurashi. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
and that does appear to be a theme in his work, especially with Silent Hill F.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up is F, because I was immediately thinking of like, well, that's why I stopped. Partly because I could hear Yawn typing, but also because the way that Silent Hill F worked, I think F is fascinating. That's what F stands for. Because it's like, it kind of works in both ways. There is the fantasy element, and it can be interpreted in that way. You can view the story in as a fantastical like thing, but or like, you know, where all of this crazy stuff is actually happening, or you can view it from like a sort of, you know, down to earth perspective, a realistic sort of, you know, what actually is happening to the kids. But that's what's interesting and to me is like Higurashi is like one end of that, where it's okay, magic and realism. It seems like Umineko is like realism being framed by magic. And then Silent Hill F is like kind of a merge between it's kind of like Ryakishi didn't really care to, or not really care. That's a bad way of saying it. It didn't it's like he felt it was more interesting to let the player choose whether they interpret it from a quote unquote realism angle or a quote unquote like spiritual angle.
It's not cleanly delineated.
Yeah.
Something that's kind of interesting in the context of what you're talking about is that one of in an interview that he did shortly after the release of episode 1, he kind of described Higurashi as like a social mystery, while Umineko is his attempt at examining orthodox mysteries. So you talking about sort of like the differences between how these are navigating like similar yet different premises and topics. It feels very relevant to like his actual intent.
Sorry, I feel like I've been talking way too much. Does anyone else want to weigh in here?
Real quick, like I'm trying to find the like core of what I'm trying to get at here. I'm circling a little, but like
yeah, I think I might prepare
this is
my
very
thoughts
much like
next time. Like actually write some stuff down, because coming up with it on the fly is like kind of a little.
It does help to write down at least a little something, but
yeah.
it's something that keeps standing out to me, and maybe it's just me like seeing words, me seeing patterns where like maybe there aren't any, but it's like the use of like miracle, and how that was something that was very key in like the back half of Higurashi, like admittedly certain lines have like stuck with me, so I've like written them down. And one was like, this is not a miracle yet, someone still needs to reach out her hand. Like that's something I'm thinking about a lot. And then the idea of magic being effectively a miracle, if I'm like interpreting Kinzo's big ass speech correctly, like if I'm processing words right, and like Bern Castell being the Witch of Miracles, and like just all this recurrence of the idea of a miracle, and it is appealing to me as a as like a born lapsed Catholic, where like I always think about miracles and this very spiritual stuff, but at the same time it's like that's not in my life anymore, but I still yearn for that, and I still yearn for that spirituality and that feeling, basically the feeling that seeing and believing in miracles can give you, that when you believe only in like the real and you try to be a materialist like I try to be, it can be a little painful.
Yeah. Did anyone else want to weigh in?
I guess I think it's very interesting that in the secondary Tea Club, Berncastle lays out a bunch of kind of rules and guidelines for interpreting the mystery, like just talking about basically cause and effect, learn the rules of how everything works, and you'll expose Beatrice's heart. And that's something that comes up very late, I want to say episode 5 or 6 of Higurashi, but here it's getting kind of dropped on us as a big hint from the end of episode 1, just laying out that kind of framework that he's encouraging the audience to think in.
She's not gonna fuck around. She's been through this too many times. She's tired. I'm talking about Rika, of course, and or Baron Castell, however you want to look at it.
Yeah. I'm thinking. It's not very fun to watch on Twitch. I don't know, maybe it is. Man, there's so much going on. I had a kind of vibe that like once we got halfway through episode 1, I had an idea of Umineko and like how it was going to be. And for some reason, I did not think that it was going to kind of be Higurashi again with like the time loop stuff. And then once a third of people died, It was like, okay, all right, yeah, okay. Fucking rewind that clock, baby.
What, you didn't think that we would introduce Kyrie and then immediately kill her and that's it forever?
I'm standing by my theory, by the way, that she's like an investigator or something. That they were looking into the fucking Battler's mom. What happened with Battler's mom? What happened? What, like, she got fucking got. Also, am I making that shit up with Battler's grandparents? They died, right?
Of natural causes. That seemed
Of
like
natural causes, sure.
I mean, like,
dude.
he didn't like
Sure.
see anything suspicious. At least he didn't. If he did, he didn't say it.
It just seems way too fucking convenient to get him on the island. You know, it's like, oh yeah, they died. I guess I have to go. It's just too convenient. I don't know. Old people do be dying though. I would know.
It is very convenient when my grandparents die. This is true.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Convenient for somebody, I guess.
Yeah, that's, I'm not trying. Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm teasing.
I mean, like, in terms of the Maria. I'm trying to talk.
Okay, I think we're right about the end here. Does anyone else have any final thoughts?
Let me. I just have one last question for all the newcomers. What do you think? The next chapter is Turn of the Golden Witch. So, what do you think that turn is going to be?
I think she's gonna do a big spin.
Yeah.
A 360 turn.
Wow.
360 degrees and walk away.
Damn it, beat me to it.
I think maybe she's gonna. Maybe she's gonna play devil's advocate and make it kind of seem like a more plausible, non-magical way, maybe, and then explain it away with magic.
I will say, when I first read it, I thought it was going to be like an abstract turn, like how in Utena, for instance, there's a lot of talk about the Rondo Revolution and then like spinning in the intro. I thought it'd be very abstract and symbolic.
She's gonna spin the chessboard around and Battler's head, all the pieces fly off, and it gets dizzy.
Yeah, for me, the turn just means that it's her. Like, kind of what you were saying is like spinning the chessboard, but it's her turn. Like, the first chapter was Battler's quote unquote turn, like in a video game, like if you're passing the controller.
What if she's the point of view character?
That's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm saying is like,
And she's
what
right there.
if you're assuming that everything that happened in the story has a magical component to it, then it's very possible that we see the events through her perspective, and potentially even she becomes sort of empowered by us taking on that role. Like, I can't deny that there is something interesting about the player's kind of perspective in this, because sometimes it's Battler, sometimes it's not. So, like, Bern Castell like kind of talks through Battler. Like, I don't even know if it's Battler in those instances. Is it literally just like us? I guess whatever. I'm probably talking.
We also had like the weird moments of like Akumasawa's like monologues or like various third person omniscient.
Yeah, that shit was weird.
Like the point of view kind of jumps all over the place. It's not really consistent to just Battler either. So
yeah,
that was kind of my point earlier too.
Yeah.
The narration mocking Battler in the Tea Party of like, who is that? Is that just is that Beatrice talking about him?
Yeah, I don't know.
When they call him like stubborn and foolish and acting like a child.
Yeah. I don't know.
Got a lot to think about for next time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a cork board. It's all coming together.
The witches expect a lot.
You think that's good for now, Bob?
It's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied because we, we just this giant dock has
We could talk about Umineko for hours, man.
barely been touched.
We're on arc 1.
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't
not.
say it's not been barely been touched. You touched every single thing. I think it's just that in the context of like the grander question of like what is happening, you kind of pierced through a good portion of those talking points.
Yeah, I meant more in terms of like just giving people their say, or like giving people a minute to like kind of elucidate why they put things on here.
Yeah, the problem is just there's so many here because everyone has a lot of thoughts and there's only so much time we got.
Yeah, I think in the future we should just like have everybody unmute and then we all just have like an organic flowing conversation about everything. I appreciate the structure and I think that that's warranted, but at the same time, like, there's just so much to talk about.
Well, we did basically do that for the first like 2 hours.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is like, I want, but I think next time, just, I need to shut up and just, we need to be able to like, I don't know, flow better. Anyway, all right, y'all. Did they say Asumu died from an illness, or am I fully imagining that? Who's Asumu?
That's mom.
That's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's about it then.
Yeah, I don't know if they said that she died from an illness or not. I think it was purely like, like she's not here. I don't think they really talked about it much at all.
She
Dead
died
wife
of ligma.
syndrome.
What?
Dead wife syndrome.
Oh yeah.
She got it.
I said she got
Damn.
ligma.
Of course you said that. All right, y'all. Take it easy. We're gonna go ahead and call it here. And Jan, I feel like I need to see what you just wrote. It was such a paragraph. Are you all talking about me behind my back?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
Oh
Constantly.
my God. No. They know.
We're witches.
Oh right, yeah, you are. Yeah. All right,
They're having
y'all.
their tea party.
Indeed. All right, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it here. Thank you to everybody in the chat and everybody who joined throughout the course of the.
Yawn.
What is that sound?
It's yawn.
Sorry, I don't have a good keyboard. I'm sorry.
No, it's the noise gating that you had to turn off because it was like ducking you, and now it's picking up every single keystroke, and it's
I'm
very
sorry.
funny.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
all
don't
good.
like it either.
But yeah, I wouldn't have said anything if it wasn't like it was kind of like speech jamming me.
I'm very sorry.
It's all good.
Is it still doing it?
No.
No. Can't
Okay,
hear
I
it.
changed I changed my settings again. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. All right, so thanks everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. I'm tired, but it is a sated tired. I think that when we get we're gonna start episode 2 on like Monday, and I'm excited. I'm really curious where things are gonna go, and we'll see. But yeah, stay tuned for more book clubs, and I hope you all enjoy the content. Thank you so much, Draconic Wolf, Mel, Olo, Purpley Orange, Screaming for Wussy, iCat, Talsreal, UT, Jan, and everybody else who isn't here who left earlier. Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun, and we're gonna keep having more fun. And I promise we're going to rein this shit in. We're going to make it so everybody can have like the time to talk about what they want to talk about. And onward and upward. So I'll see you next time. And what is it? Huh. Sorry, I thought there was someone in here. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I just got like a cold chill. It felt like something was around here. Anyway, did y'all throughout the entire stream? There were a bunch of times when I felt like.
Yeah, I think I saw a white one occasionally.
A white? Whoa, it's terrifying. All right, y'all. Maybe watch the VOD. Maybe you'll see. Maybe you can find something in post.
I
on
just
that
saw
one.
some butterflies in your room. Is that?
Yeah. Did I see some butterflies?
I thought I saw something.
Like a footstep behind you?
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, all right. Catch y'all later. Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.